Oh, hi. Welcome back to my playthrough of Our Life. This time, it's the sequel game, Our Life Forever. End of the Wedding DLC, I kind of set myself in stone saying I would not be playing this game, and I am taking back those words. While the art style is still definitely a little bit outside of what I would prefer, overall, especially after having played the Baxter and Derek DLCs for the first game, I'm very much in love with just how the story is being told here and these characters. And thus, what we will be playing today is what is available, which makes up most of the prologue for Step 1 of Our Life Now and Forever. It'll introduce us to the characters, and it'll be a fun introduction, and you guys can see how the story's gonna play. Previously, I played Our Life Beginning and Always with the main character of Blue, who is my OC, and who very much... the choices that Blue would make are choices that I would make, because very much she is based around myself. But I decided that for now and forever, I would be playing a different character. And that character that I created, which would be Red here. And thus, welcome to the fact that I made him his own little page. And yes, I did not have a last name for Red, unlike I do with Blue. So, his last name is gonna be the default for the game, unless by the time the game comes out I come up with something, or one of you comes up with something. I will take suggestions. Most likely, because of how I'm already in love with this game, I will be having Red going for Q, but that doesn't mean that Tamarack is off the table. We will debate. And as you can see, I made my own little doll. Unfortunately, that is not how the doll will look. That is not how Red will look with his in-game doll. I wish, because it's adorable. But even the color of blue hair is not available in the game currently. But without any further delay, how about we get started on the game? Would you like gameplay explanation sections to appear? Just this once. Welcome to Our Life Now and Forever Intro Demo. This is a preview that includes the first few scenes of the game's prologue. Yes. Expansions and improvements to the game will come out as time goes on. For example, the finished version will have partial voice acting. This initial demo doesn't have any voiced lines. When the game is complete, the entire story will be playable from start to end for free. However, optional paid DLC will be available to add in even more scenes. The very start is a brief tutorial that will be skippable in future playthroughs. It'll help you get acquainted with all the many ways your choices can impact how the game plays. At any time, press the Brief button on the left side of the game screen to open up the settings page and make the experience better suited for you. You can change the text size, font style, sound volume options, turn the light animation elements on or off, and other general options. The story of Our Life Now and Forever spans 12 years. The character you play as beginning as a 10-year-old child and ending as a 22-year-old adult. Which means we should end pretty much when Our Life Beginning and Always ends. The step 4s should be happening at the same time, because your character in Beginning and Always should be a year older than the character in Now and Forever, just based on Baxter's age in this. In between those points are 2 other stages of life: 14-year-old adolescence and 18-year-old young adulthood. These time periods are referred to as steps 1 through 4. This demo only contains scenes from childhood. Obviously, you'll be able to determine almost everything about the playable character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, skills, weaknesses, how they act, what they feel, and more. And all of these details can change as you grow up over the course of the game. However, they won't be forgotten. Who you are and who you were is remembered by the game and the characters you meet. Choices you picked in Step 1 can still be referenced all the way in Step 4. It builds together. Which is why I love this series so much. That was such a big part of why I really enjoyed Beginning and Always, as well as just how Cove was built. And obviously, then being able to have your own voiced name also adds to the experience. And I'm sorry if I'm being like a little slow and awkward. I am not fully set up for recording the way to record this. The goal of our life is to let you truly live your own unique life in the quaint mountain town of Golden Grove. But there are also 2 lead characters who will grow up alongside your own main character: Tamarack Bauman, and Q Lin. I am probably saying those names wrong, and I am sorry. You'll have the option of being their friend, pursuing one romantically, just having them simply be people you know, letting your connection change over time, and so on. Your relationship is customizable and progresses at whatever rate you want it to, if you want it to. Though, there are a couple of limits to what you can do. You can't date them both or break up with one after officially getting together. If you've had a lead become your romantic partner, that's permanent. Unlike real life, that's permanent. You've screwed up the world. Tamarack is a little girl, she, her, when you meet her, and she always identifies as a woman. Q begins the story as a little boy, he, him, but questions their gender as the years go by. Q will ultimately come out as gender fluid, he, they. Our Life Now and Forever doesn't include the option to romance a strictly male-identifying character, but we do have another game, Our Life Beginning and Always, if that's your preference. There will be other characters to interact with and befriend besides Tamarack and Q, though those 2 are the main focal point. How well you get along with other kids, your teachers, your mom, and so on is still in your control. With those basics mentioned, the tutorial will move on to a new screen now to explain another major gameplay element. The first thing you'll do in Our Life Now and Forever is design the appearance and basic details of the character. This is where I will design Red, but he will not look like how I want Red to look. At least not now. I can still hope, if they even put the option in the Kickstarter to put a custom hairstyle into the game, I will try my best to get all of Red's hairstyles in. And I will share them I will probably share them on my Twitter at some point. I have designed this boy through Step 3. I don't know what he's gonna look like at Step 4. I don't normally I haven't drawn or designed Red or Blue to a point where I would think they look different than what I ultimately decided was their 18-year-old self. Red is very handsome at 18, guys. I don't know what I could do to him to change that. I don't even know if I'd want to. And I really love what I designed for his 14-year-old self, and you'll see that soon, because we're gonna go through a phase with his 14-year-old self. You'll be able to select a first name, last name, and add a nickname too. You can also give your main character their general size and choose their dominant, and so on. The sex and gender of the main character is customizable as well. That'll be addressed more later. The remaining parts of this section are all the many ways you can edit the appearance of your character. A cute dress-up doll icon is included to give an idea of what your playable character is like. You can change every aspect of the doll from the shape of the head and eyes, to the hairstyle, to the coloring of each element, to what they wear. The customization can be extra unique by having the hair and or eyes be 2 different colors, tweaking the exact tint of the colors, flipping the direction or different elements, and more. You just need to give me more color options. Like, I know the dark blue exists because Q's mom has the dark blue hair color. So I don't know why it's not an option I can put on my doll. As for the hairstyle, obviously, these are just limited options at the moment, and we will see if I could get my boy's hairstyle in this game. There's even one special tint that allows you to exactly match the hair and or eye color of your biological mom in the story. I will not be doing that. Or you can stick to preset options if you're happy with them or want to get through the customization faster. You can even randomize the main character and go with what chance gives. What you choose will be referenced in the script, and the icon image you put together will appear on the text box when your character speaks, unless you turn that element off. The game has a first-person perspective, so you don't see your main character standing alongside the non-playable characters in normal character sprite style. The first round of designing will set some important basics, like eye color and skin tone, that will never change for the rest of the story, but almost everything else can be altered eventually. You'll get the option to use this screen to re-customize your main character significantly at the start of each step. You'll be able to change your first name, nickname, pronouns, hairstyles, what they wear, add scars, etc. if you want. Along with the major recustomization sections at the start of steps, multiple times during each step, you'll also be able to alter the clothes of your main character. If you want your main character's outfit to be simple for exploring outside and nicer when they go to school, you'll be able to do that. The new decoration options, such as facial piercing, will become available once your character has gotten older. You will see that I will take advantage of that because I have designed my boy to be a very rebellious 14-year-old. That's everything for this initial screen, so we'll let you begin. More tutorial sections will pop up as you reach a new gameplay. Thank you so much for playing. We hope you have fun. Alright guys, I am going to skip through this whole thing so you guys don't have to see me going through detail after detail trying to create what red would look like. And we will go to the end and we will go to the next page once I have him done. So I shall see you in a second and you will see me almost immediately. And here we are. This is what obviously, this is literally as get in the game. If there is a way to get a darker blue, I would love to know how. This is as dark as I can get, what options I can find. But anyway, this is what he's supposed to look like. So let us continue. Alright. Again, I will put in everything and you guys will see everything in a second. Hello from the tutorial again. Now you get to customize the identity of appearance. You can make this element of your character as personalized as you want, but do not make use of the more specific elements. Determining the gender of the main character was assigned at birth, what pronouns they use, if they use multiple pronouns, adding in new custom pronouns, selecting which gender to be comfortable with, such can all be up to you. You can also change everything except your gender at birth at the start of every step. If you want to begin with one type of identity and have your main character go through a transition once they're older, that's completely doable. That is not what Red will be doing, but the option's there for you. Feel free to select whichever feels the most comfortable at this stage of the story. Alrighty, guys. Once again, shall be back. Now that you've got your own character ready, you'll be able to influence the appearance of your biological mother. She has 3 hair textures and 6 skin tones. You can have her look as similar or as different from your main character as you like. She chose to raise a child on her own and used artificial insemination to give birth to her character. Her biological father never appeared in the story. So if your character happens to look nothing like their father, it can be assumed they take after the offspring's father instead. You'll also get to choose what term your character refers to her. Currently, must be a title to make script. If you enter her first name, the phrasing won't make sense. Later builds of the game will be suited for calling her by her name instead of a title. I think that would be very weird. Never called my mother something that's not a mom-related term, but I keep thinking of how I've designed Red. You might call her Cuss. That might be the thing that goes. You'll also be able to change the title you use at the start of every step. Skin tone, hair texture. Alright. Well, I don't like that hairstyle for you. It'll be Kasan instead of Okasan. Mainly more durable for a child at all. And it's still proper. That's what we're gonna do here. And we've got a last bit of customization. Again, interface display style. First, there's sticker. Sticker is just a in turns graphic, and more importantly, save file. You can easily track different playthroughs. Sticker change want by clicking the info button in the sidebar and going to the Your Details page. One example: use it when you have a playthrough enjoying. 2, you're not sure if you. You can take that same file, sticker, and make another save. One story and sticker would have you Tamarack and the other sticker separate view. Yet, I am mainly probably you, although you guys might totally like them. But that's how I'm leaning right now. That is 100% how I'm leaning right now. Finally, there are 2 different text box styles to choose from. A traditional visual novel arrangement box always along the bottom, or a more comic book style each bubble position talking bottom station. You can switch between them at any preference. Button simple text highlighted, you'll have the novel style. Click and highlight that button. Comics. By default, both box styles have the icons. Those on or off through your preference. Well, thank you for novel comic. We're gonna do the visual. looked like fall. More than seen or in one of your pictures show what autumn was. There weren't any green, but there weren't just. It was almost the same as normal. All that had changed was color: red, yellow, brown. Even the blue of the sky high above your head, different than summer. It wasn't that bright either, as though you had gotten tired of sparkling. Though it had gotten tired of sparkling by this year, or like it was further away from you now. Plants and skies didn't get this way where you lived. Used to live. Your thoughts continued to jump around while you stood there in the big It was a weird path. It couldn't take you ahead or side anywhere else that you had gone down. This one only came right here. The view from the front was something you'd never seen in photos stapled together that advertised the middle house sale. It had been a picture. Now you knew that it felt like fall here because it was cold out. Chilly enough that you sometimes held your eyes closed for seconds longer than usual. Try and keep your eyeballs from feeling like they were going to be inside your head. This was a real place. Icy air surrounding you said, and you were really in it. And it was where you were going to stay. That was your Kasan had you live in an apartment, and never for very long time. That was until she had gotten a big job in this not that big town, bought a big house. You wouldn't be going anywhere else for a long time. Now in the moment you couldn't imagine being forever. But that's just the way it was. The old tan house at the end of the long round road was now your house, standing tall with others by its side. Those buildings were home too, with their own people inside, and those people in those houses were going to be Red would feel mixed up inside. He is not the most happy. Would it be better this way? Worse? Something else? You didn't know what to do. At least your Kasan was still with you. You'd go through the bad stuff together. Red! Come on over and take a look! Oh, that was your Kasan's. You hadn't noticed she'd gotten so far. That was enough to bring you comfort. You made yourself move forward towards the unknown in order to reunite with off the cul-de-sac road, cutting across the grassy sidewalk. The gate was locked. Unlike the other houses, in front of yours was a tiny gray stone walkway led up to steps. Those steps led to the door. You dragged your feet along the rocks. Small private path, more uneven spot. The tip of your shoe got caught on the raised edge. On the raised edge between ground and it caused you to stumble up the line right before arriving at the end. You steadied yourself carefully going up the stairs. And there your Kasan was, standing at the edge of the arms. He must have been moving around with a tiny opal pad from side to side a little. You knew they were real old stones because she told you when she first got them. Also, time ago, that her normal name, not Kasan, was Opal. Her clothes were colors of a cloudy day after it was already gone. I mean, saw how I would describe those colors, but sure. That's not how I look at the sky and see clouds. I don't see that kind of color in there. The kind of day that could be cold or bad, or really relaxing, comfy, it depended. You wondered which way she looked. You didn't know. The rest of her, though, was so much more bold, especially the matching clearing of both her hair. There weren't a lot of things out in the world color color that could. Everybody would always say that the red in your hair came from her. Except the red in Red's hair is totally dyed. That seemed cool. Part of your Kasan had up in you. Kasan smiled at you. It made you feel as soft and inside as your Kasan was on the outside. What do you think? It's a pretty place, huh? I'm in my own room, right? Red? None of these are what Red would say. He would either say it's okay, I guess, or just stare at her. Going to stare at her blink. It was paired with a slight head. Her mouth stayed in the shape of a smile, but her eyes and eyebrows changed, bending in a way that made it seem like it wasn't smiling, or it was some other smile. She put a hand on one of the white painted portraits at the portrait down. Her fingers moved down. Won't be too much longer. The real estate agent should be here to hand over the key. A couple hours. Hours? Hours? I'm sorry, what? What kind of world are you showing up at the house without the keys, saying, hey, son, we're gonna move in a couple hours? What is that? Hassan! Then it'll be official. We'll be the newest residents of Golden Grove. You shifted your weight from another. This was a big deal to you. Your whole life was too. You hoped it wouldn't be a mistake. You didn't want your Hassan to be sad. Well, you've seen the yard and the outside. You don't have to wait here the entire time. How about you go around and look around the rest of the neighborhood? She bent down, placing her hands on her knees in order to speak directly to the level. It's a safe town, especially in this area. We'll be able to play freely out here. I'm gonna Red would. Hassan went back to a normal way of sitting, head up high and folded. That's the spirit. Enjoy yourself. Just don't stray into any other streets today. Yes, Hassan. Thank you. I trust you. With that, you flipped around, bounded down the steps, back on towards the sidewalk, ready to. Step 1. Prologue. Your shoes really squished into the dirt path and crossed down the road. The smell of grass and softened ground, crisp, though somehow also kind of musty, hung in the air, making a whole year with it. You were going to be a 5th grade. It would be completely different from just a 4th grade. And not because you'd be attending a new school. You'd be the highest grade place. Maybe that was why your cousin was sure you felt you were growing up. You felt good knowing there was more and more out there that you'd be able to explore on your own. Then, before you took one more step, there was a faint tap against your shoulder. It was barely stronger than the wind, but it was definitely something. Completely out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, you say? Huh, wondered what that was. Kind of weird. You slowly glanced down to the right and left, trying to get any idea of where the place had come from. No one was there. The neighborhood was empty, except for you. You would have settled on it being a mystery forever if you hadn't noticed there was a thing behind from the counter. Sitting there in between the muddy brown blades of grass was something new. A paper airplane? Paper airplane, yes, Red, that's exactly what it is. Look there, I've moved my little doll over to. I don't know if I'll keep if I can catch the dialogue. But there he is. There's what my boy actually should look like. Who would throw this at a stranger, and why would they disappear doing it? As you considered those questions, your gaze shifted back to the right, the side of the street that came from. Whoever sent this to you had gone that way. Crouched down to grab it, wanting to get some kind of answer to what had happened. The paper didn't feel the prickly crackle of normal paper. It was thicker, almost like a piece of cloth. It was cottony. Alright, weird wordage. That wasn't the only part that stood out. The page was a tan color with dark brown lines. Not white or white and black, or something regular. More questions add to where would paper like that have come from? You're asking all the great questions, Fred. You turned the paper airplane around in your hand, pointed your eyes keenly. There were pencil marks on the underside. The paper had scribbled, or maybe words. That was enough of a sign to undo the shape somebody had put together, so that the flaps landed out between their palms as best they could. It was true. The paper airplane had a message on it. Well, maybe, thought. There were some words on it, but not a lot, and they were on different lines with each other. You read over each tiny part from top to bottom. Hello, go out, hide out, and then the bottom corner was Fred Second. How do you know my name? Your name. It had been addressed to you personally. There was no mistake that you were the one meant to get that plane. You scrunched up your face. A person wrote stuff on a piece of paper, turned it into a paper, threw it at another person, and the message they sent, that? Absolutely, all the good questions, Red. It was a mystery worth solving, though. Maybe those words were a code you had to break. Do I tell Kasan, or do I just go and get to the bottom of this? She said I could go exploring. I'm going exploring. Someone or something had to do you. You weren't going to stop and found out why. Past the parts where the light shone, parts where it got dark, you began your investigation by heading in the same direction right from. The half-circle houses were out of sight by the time the normal sidewalk ended, and it really ended. Instead of connecting the street with doors, there was a car road behind you, and a bunch of ground in front. Going down the road would the rest of the town eventually, but you were sure that would be straying too far, like your Kasan warned about. That was okay. Had other options. Bending in between the dark trunks and the bright leaves, two lines stamped out through the they went in the direction. It was a crossroad. One led more towards where the neighborhood was, but back further, right on the edge of where it started. The other went completely into a walking path lived there. You stood there at the start of this woods in your life, feet poised to move over the stirring thicket. But we're gonna pick one. There was a path here that was definitely more worth trying than the other. You were sure of it. Something on the inside just told you. You're gonna go to the right. And your quest continued. The path ended up being a kind of trick. You ran out of dirt to walk on after only a minute or two, and it became plain grass everywhere. Luckily, you not only had to keep following the bend of the brush and trees that separated the forest from the not forest to know you were going to good. Then, as you rolled even further, something changed. You almost didn't notice it at first. Stretching about as high as the out of practically colored wood, a tower sort of. The bottom of it was mostly face with a thin stick corner and only one wall. There were little thick rocks stuck to the wall side, probably for people to climb on. Above it was an actual floor with slanting railing. Some ropes dangled off in places. The thought came to you that it had the same treehouse, except not in a tree. It definitely wasn't a real house. You might have found a playground. Yes, a local playground in the middle of the woods, behind houses. Really. Curiously, you moved closer until you were right in front, and that's what shocking. There was something in there at the top. Eyes squinted to try and see clearly. Your neck bent back so far your head might fall off. You could make out a lump of tile. Shout it out. Hey, is something there? The sudden sound of a clattering ruckus inside the fort made you flinch in place. It was a scramble, thunking noise you knew came from movement. That lump stopped being a lump, shot up, bent right over the railing, and peered down and saw you. He's so pretty! It was a kid. That was the prettiest person you'd ever seen. Absolutely. The silent standoff of surprise played out between the strangers. Then, all together, one half of their mouth, one of their eyebrows, and one of their hands shifted upward. Look at this precious boy! God! That lopsided pose and the fact that they were at the top of a tower made them seem pretty in charge. Who are you? Why are you in my backyard? Oh, they were in charge here. Red is extremely, I would say. I didn't know. Sorry. Somehow, they twisted their smile and leaned over the railing. Yeah, there's no fence, but there is a house right over there. And if you look again, you can even see that it's the back of a house. And so, this is my backyard. My backyard because I live in that house. You knew what a house was, what a backyard was. The kid was making a joke of you. God, Q, what the hell? Well, Red kind of, the minute Red would be confronted, Red would not talk. Red would stop. Be like, what do you want? You giving up didn't change their smug smile at all. At that, they pressed the palms of their hands hard against the railing and used it to pick their legs up over the sides and throw themselves right off the fort. There was a powerful crunch and a gust of ground just a little to the side of where they were. They landed on their feet, crouching into a ball, and jacket up over their head with the impact from falling so far down. The person stayed like that for long enough that the leaves they stirred up settled quietly into the grass. Then the kids straightened themselves out with more poise than you would have expected. Squared shoulders, chin up, one hand, pushed the hood down over their back. They were confident and knew how to show it. God, my boy! That's that. It was impressive. They took a hold of the open sides of their jacket, flapped them out, shaking off the sticks, other stuff that got on it when they collided with the earth. Anyway, they shifted their head around to get their hair back over the way it was before, and then jabbed it with their own chest. I'm Mr. Qlin. Q-I-U-N-L-I-N. It means both of Q's arms spread out open, gesturing to the wide world on the ground. Autumn, nice to meet you. What's your name? Didn't think you'd come after the Q. Red would never be confident enough, especially at a person to say that. So, my name's Red, because Red is also... Great, well, what's your whole name, Red? He was persistent enough that you gave him again. I'm Mr. Red Second. That was perfect, Mr. Red Second. People should call me Blaze, only because but my friends always call me Blaze. I don't know. I actually really like Red's name, so I say sometimes. My friends sometimes call me. Cool. I've got a nickname too. It's Autumn. Because, like I said, that's what my name means. You can use it if you wanna. Alright. Wait, and also, how old are you? You seem pretty similar to me. I'm 10. Short answers. Blue would have said 10 whole years double digits. Fred's just gonna say I'm 10. Hugh slapped his fingerless glove hand against the front of his chin and showed just how taken back he was. Whoa! So am I. Nobody else was exactly 10 before, but now there's you. And you're gonna grow up someday. And I'm gonna grow up too. But that's never gonna stop us from being the same age. Cool. Red's gonna give a thumbs up. Red's not a talker, guys. More 10-year-olds were better than us. But the talk you were having ended with a clear clap from close. Now that we're people that know each other, I still want to hear what you were doing. I've lived my whole life in this town, in this neighborhood, in that house, and I've never seen you anywhere. There's gotta be something going on. Well... You reached right into your pocket and presented the mystery paper to you, wanting your own information. But before you even said anything about it, you wheezed with a tight grimace. He looked as stiff as the wood tower behind him just that. He stammered and blabbed and pointed his finger all around the space with sort of until the word finally came to him. A sorcerer! What? I'm sorry. What, my dear boy? No, wait! Hugh threw up his hands higher towards his shoulder, the sudden movement making sure nothing interrupted his thought. You're a thief! What the hell, Q? Why are you calling me a thief? Oh, my boy! That's why you're here, to rob my house. Why would I let you know if I was gonna steal? Those are good questions, Red. Fortunately, Red is not the kind of person to actually say anything to that, so, it's respectable that you're not gonna deny it. I don't think that's what I'm doing here, buddy. Do you really think I'm a robber? He got all fluttery with his laugh and waving his... No, you're just a kid. But you've got some good tricks. Hugh tucked one of his hands in his jacket, moved it around, and humming the whole time. There was some kind of secret pocket in the apartment in the coat. Aha! Just as you thought, when he removed his hand, grabbing onto something. It was a little notebook. The edges were bent up and crumbly, probably from being squished a lot of ways at the time. And there were papers sticking out in weird ways that you think they weren't even attached to more. They were just smashed between other pages in place. But the thing you noticed the most were colors, tan and dark brown lines. The paper is yours! It was the paper from the airplane. You flipped open the book and tapped it with slow, considering written at the front page, the back of the knuckle, and said what you wanted to know without you having to do anything. Without me having to do anything, not even lift my pinky. That's my special paper, with my notes on it. But it's not in my notebook, it's in your pocket. You must have done the thing that's a sleight of hand. Sleight of hand. That's what you did to snatch my stuff in the blink of an eye. While I was standing right here. So you're a magician, or a pickpocket. That's all it could be. He shifted on his feet, putting one hand on his hips and using the other to make a wiggling gesture with the notebook. He was really confident in his accusation. And you show me how to do it? I did nothing, buddy. But that wavy motion much for the notebook. It bent in half upwards and downwards, then some of its on. Some of the paper drifted out. They drifted to the ground lightly, the same way. You stared right at them, sitting on the ground freely like that. You didn't. Maybe you just dropped a paper and someone picked it up. We're not gonna be sarcastic and we're not just gonna say you lost it. Nah, I never lose things. What the hell, Q? He said it proudly, still not paying attention to the papers fluttered around his feet. They were pretty much just waiting to blow away in the wind at that point. See, I want the option to just, like, point at his feet. That way you say nothing, but you still, like, let him know. Hey, papers at your feet, buddy. Papers at your feet. But, Red's gonna say, I think you might want to look down. Hugh's eyes widened. He lifted the notebook over his head and twisted outward, more to fully clear his view of the grass below. Finally, he spotted the missing pages. Whoa, thanks! In the middle of talking, he dropped to his knees and scoop up the loose paper. It only took a second for one to be gathered. He leaned off his knees and onto his butt and made a little oomph sound. From there, he got to his feet again against the ground while pushing up with his hands still clutching. With that successful rescue mission done, Hugh decided to delicately flip the notebook, turning his feet away between the pages. He went all the way to the end. Then his complete book was pressed shut once more. Hey, that really helped, Red. A beaming smile directed right into your face almost had you covering your eyes. But before that happened, he looked away. Hugh twisted to the side to better rummage inside the pocket of his jacket. He made sure that the entire stack of made it back safely inside. You heard a sigh of relief. In an even swooping move, Hugh tilted his head back over his shoulder to reveal it again. The bright expression before was completely gone. He had that smirk again. Oh my god, the smirk on his face! See why I have a Gil! So, did you see that? I don't lose anything. My boy, don't make me smack you! Don't make me smack you! Oh, hot from embarrassment or break into laughter. Next time I'm not gonna tell you about it. No! Because Red will always tell him. I'm gonna say he finally broke the ice and Red is willing to laugh. That was not at all how you expected him to reply, but it was amazing. You had to slouch to hold your stomach because it was that funny. He was fun with your reaction came out as a set of snickers. His cheeky mood drifted away once he was done. Hugh twisted to the side to better rummage inside the hip pocket of his jacket. He made sure that the notebook made it back to the spot. When he tilted his face back towards you, he thought, "This is very mysterious. My paper vanished and a brand new kid appeared in my backyard, all out of nowhere. I don't get it. Q, I'm your neighbor now. I moved in the little house on the street. Oh, the new neighbors. That's right, that's you. It makes so much sense." Then Q shook his head side to side, flopping dark brown strands of hair around, trying to sort out his thoughts. But if you're just my new neighbor, not a thief or sorcerer, how'd you know that was my paper? I didn't know, not for sure. What? You were showing my notes off to everyone you saw in the world? I saw no one before you, my dear boy? Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Very much kind of the idea, my boy. I like showing you guys how Red moves. Because I get distracted by how he's on this page, and I'm like, look, not how you're supposed to look.
breathed in, let it out, and then tried to explain the situation. It didn't even make sense to you. I got here today with my Kasan. She's waiting for the real estate agent, so I had to go spend some time doing something. I went down the road, and a paper airplane hit me in the shoulder. Nobody was there! You nodded along, probably not getting everything you were talking about, but curious enough to just keep listening. I picked it up and opened the plane and saw stuff written. I thought the person throwing the plane was trying to give me a message. I've been looking for whoever did it since. When I met you, I had to check if you're the one who did it. You went over the steps that led you to this point. Good. You joined in with the conclusion. It wasn't me who made any airplane, but the page and things on it are mine. He put his hands on his hips as he thought hard about the info he got from you. That means someone else somehow got a piece of paper from my notebook and used that to make a plane they chucked at you for some crazy reason. I know, it sounds unbelievable, buddy. I guess so. But if you're the one who wrote that, how did you know my name? That was on the note. And what were those other words supposed to mean? Hello, go out, hide out, red second. Doesn't make any sense. Oh! Hugh cracked a smile and flipped out his arms to start his book. That's just stuff I was gonna do. Counting 1, 2, 3 on his fingers, Hugh listed off each part of the letters. Hello, say hi to the people around. Go out, visit the town or another neighborhood or whatever. Hideout means go to my hideout. Hugh stopped the countdown to pat the sturdy wall behind him and cried. Right here. Okay. Hideout is in your own backyard. Red would never say any of this. Red's not gonna speak. You kept talking. Right, yeah. For your name being there, my mom and dad told me. They talked about how people were moving in next door and how there was gonna be a kid my age. And that his name was Red Second. It was cool to me, so I wrote it down. That way I won't forget. And I even took out and read that paper a lot to make sure it'd be something I remember. Looks like I forgot after. Red is just quietly gonna... None of these sound like Red answers, except for thanks for trying. Right? Alright, we got choices. Thanks for trying or quietly accept. We're gonna say thanks. You're welcome. I'll remember it this time, definitely. But I'm gonna stick with you now. Whoever took my paper is still out there. You were their target. Maybe you're not a sorcerer thief, but what if the paper airplane person is? We'll figure it all out and you won't have to worry about anything. Nod in agreement. Super. Do we have a plan? You stood up tall, accepting your now partner on the trip and laid out the part. Yeah, I know which way we should go now. We have to go back to the spot in the forest with the dirt path. I know that place. It's right nearby. Let's do it. Do this. And so you started walk along the autumn trail. Now with your partner, the adventure. You came alongside you with bold steps. We're going to find the paper airplane. Soon you reached the head of the path. We're at the crossroads with more, but you'd brought back knowledge, and this new boy with you. Alright, we did that one where you were. Now there is just Car Road. You stood at Q's side, gesturing around animated with both hands. Didn't know if that helped him understand better, but still. But there's that way over on the other side. Bent your knees, stretched out both arms, and across the passage to where the second was. You couldn't possibly miss the direction. With the tilt of his head, you grinned in agreement. That makes sense to me. The decision easily made, you and your crouching footsteps started up again. Crunching footsteps started up again in unison. I'm having word problems today. I'm sorry, everybody. And still your quest. Once you went through the path, you had truly entered the wild woods. Nothing else surrounded you longer. Nature spread across the land with narrow pines, fence, being the only sign anyone had walked in before you. People were only visitors. Golden and red leaves gently rustled against each other in clumps, with each tree's branches flowing into others' sky. It was enough to keep the sky and sun out almost completely, but the leaves burned bright with the light basking over them from above. The foot-made path up higher in the mountain, further than you could see. Fred would be amazed. With your wide, wondering gaze thrown every way, you let yourself flow deep into the thicket. You watched your face. Good mood was enough to rub off on him. I hang out in the neighborhood or other parts of town mostly. The woods can be cool too. Really? Why don't you visit more often? Right by your house. I've lived here forever. Every day of my whole life. Stuff's always going on with people in the neighborhood and in town. The forest is the same whenever you come back. Trees, bushes, some birds. Kinda weird when you think of it. Besides, the plants look different when the seasons change. Like time doesn't exist. Casually, Q lifted up his hands from his sides, only to gesture downward to the floor. And hey, you know, this path we're walking has always been here, even before I was born. He strolled alongside, kicked up a little piece of rock on his head. Probably been around for as long as this place has been Golden Grove or longer. For a second he was thinking so hard, the smile he always had went away. Then something made him chuckle and looked over the side. But that fence is kinda new. I remember there had just been being a dirt road when I was there. That's the only thing that's ever gotten different out here. Wow! The quiet bubble that existed in the town popped with an unnatural clatter. You stopped. It was a whooshing, thumping, stirring of leaves, like something had crashed into it. You and Q shared a look, both checking the other heard too. That wasn't me. Wasn't you either. Yeah. You knew for sure that it wasn't. Had to have been an animal person. And it came from right over there. That thrilled you. The voice shrunk into an eager whisper. It'd be them! The mystery airplane center! Let's go before they get away! Go take a peek, because we're a scared cat. Fred just isn't like the person who just go. You crouched lower and snuck off the path. It's harder to keep footing on the ground. When you reached a really cluttered spot, you grasped the branches, them aside, in order to poke your head through. You moved them the same way you'd opened up a set of curtains, but it was a lot harder to do. The tiniest branches bent and snapped from pressure. You could feel the splintery end scratch at your clothes. It wasn't as secretive of a check as you thought it would be. On the other side of that tree line was still the wood, but kind of an empty. There were a lot of open ground with bushes growing and a ton of leaves gathered in piles. Past that, trees were back and more closely pressed together than they were by the path. It was mysterious. There was nowhere easy to go and nothing out of place to until... Look at her! Hello! There was a shout and a new whirlwind of leaves rushing from underneath one of the piles with another kid. Who was this person? That's all you... Her eyes were really red. We're just gonna go and look at the red. You couldn't hold the leap forward position longer and stumbled through the area. You stared at them. They looked right back at you. Everything they did, empty. Drifted. Sorry, guys. As everything they'd thrown into the air gently drifted back down. That got the stranger giggling. Hugh folded his arms across his chest, blinked slowly and thoughtfully. Usually had plenty to say, Another person I haven't seen before today! He twisted around so the top of him was emptied more closely towards you. He brought one of his hands to the side of his mouth and held the other to his chest, pointing subtly in the direction of the strong hint. Fred, you know this leaf kid? You're the only person I've met here. Yeah, true. Hugh's arms fell back down like, but he never took his eyes off the other person. Yep. From behind one of the tall they were uncovering treasure, a big brown bag. They had to use both hands to pouch and put it over their head. The thick strap tight under the weight attached. The line of their mouth just looked at the frame. The stranger huffed the bag, letting it rest across the shoulder. Heard stuff bumping around inside your side from here. It was a really full pack. But it didn't slow that kid down. They ran back at full speed. When they were in front of your face, they gave a wave and asked a question. Ooh! Oh! Does your hair have two colors? You suddenly had a strain, tilting her head all the way to the side to get a better look at her hair. Red would blush and not be. Whoever they were hummed a happy reply. It's fancy! The kid then kept talking the whole thing happened. Hi, are you girls too? Okay. You gestured to the front of himself casually. I'm a boy, Mr. Qlin. Q-I-U-N-L-I-N. Wow, okay, hi Q. The kid turned their attention to you. Are you a girl? No. Shake the head. Okay, boys and stuff are just as good. What's the right answer? I'm a boy. And then it was like all the clouds in the sky in her head passed away. Alright. And all of a sudden, we'll be the girls remembered who's her name most do. I'm Tamarack. What does that mean? A tamarack is a kind of tree. I like it a lot. You grinned widely at me, enthusiastic. It fits you. What's your last name? Bauman. Cool, Miss T. Bauman. You know my name is Donna. That's amazing! It's a match too! How do people know how to do that? I think we're just lucky. Lots of kids don't have the right one. Yeah. So what's your name? The girl now knew Tamarack sent the question your way, so you already that one. Wow! Hi, Red! She greeted you with a finger and red wave and as if always other. She'd done it 100 times. Do you think it fits too? Your name? Nodded again. But I've got a name that friends sometimes call me Blade. Oh, alright! It's cool to meet you, Tamarack. Maybe. He pointed a suspicious way and made another word. There was only one house for sale anywhere near this neighborhood. Red lives there. Where did you come from? Unless you're Red's mom. You? My boy? What the hell? Tamarack was completely tickled by the idea, giggling and covering her mouth. She didn't do a good job of stopping laughter out. No, I'm not a mom. I moved in with my Omi and Opa. I've heard that. Omi and Opa is Grandma and Grandpa. Yep. I've never heard of them. Is it another language? Uh-huh. It's German, and they're German. Cool. You two know a lot. There's a granny who lives there. The guy that's her husband. Is that your Omi and Opa? I think so. Probably. Omi has really long hair and Opa has short hair and some of it's on his face. Yeah. Hugh bobbed his head up and down with Granny and him have a kid now, huh? Wow. Yeah, Red's not gonna say anything to that. I've been here 5 days and it's really good. There's so much out here. I probably won't be finished for a long, long time. Months, maybe. The loudness of Q's voice shot up. He was shocked and confused. 5 days? That's almost a week! And I've never even seen you! Where have you been this whole time? I said so before. I've been here. Tamara used one push against the ground and the other to stay upright and run around the I play in the forest every day. After getting the answer, a volume frowning. Oh well, you can come with me and my friends if you want to. We hang out in the neighborhood and in town in my backyard and stuff. If you see us, just walk over and join. You don't have to worry. They'll like you and you can talk to me if you don't know what to do. She only shrugged. Told her without the badge strap higher. Maybe. There wasn't a lot of interest for the offer. Finally grinned again and watched Brad with head. You're like your Opa, huh? No one ever really sees him around either, even though he's lived here for 1,000,000 years. Tamara squished her fingers delighted. He likes his office a whole lot! This is my first day in Golden Grove. Wow, that's barely different at all! We're a match! She furrowed her extra eyebrows as much as she could as if it might be a danger. Hey! I'm a girl and neither of you are. But what if we're the same age? I'm 10! He was gonna answer for both of us. Me and Red are 10 too. Hooray! Same age forever! Happily, Tamarack held onto the worn strap of her big bag and bounced up and down in place. She decided that this was the time to talk to her about everything that happened. Ah! Not what I meant to do! The paper might have been used, but it was possible she was the one who sent it. You threw a paper airplane at me? Ah, yeah, you got it? You nodded your head yes and questioned, but it was obvious. Woo! She flung her arms up over her head in vibration, knocking her bag out to the side. It made a thump, flung back against her. My aim is good! You blinked at her in disbelief. You've truly done it. You found the mystery person who owned the paper in the first place, and the person who actually sent it. Airplane. Smiled to yourself shyly. That's totally what Red did. But you weren't the only one who had a reaction to the result. Alright, nice, Red. Your wide eyes and ears had Tamarack excitedly him, not knowing what the celebration was about, but wanting to join. That is, Bro is perfect. Thanks! And yay for the trash doing something nice! Oh, you called Q's paper trash! High five, Tamarack! Funny. Trash? He brought both his hands up to his face and pressed his fingertips in with great drama. I'm gonna snicker. I'm gonna snicker. What was that about never losing things, Q? Red's already closer to Q, so he's gonna snicker. With wrinkled brows, Q shifted to the sides, but instead dug at the French square, pulling them out straight. I don't know how that's possible. You wouldn't maybe be a sorcerer or a thief, would you, Tamarack? No? Too bad. Oh, you thought how he was so adorable. Tamarack and you both laughed. The sound harmony. You finished his pouch, straightening up and his hand solidly on his feet. He was back to being in control. You know, there's nobody out there who's perfect. I accept my mistake, and I'm sorry to you for messing up the mess. That's really nice of you to say. Thanks. I think it forgives you. Cool. Watching the two kids interacting, you started thinking about this before, going over the whole head. Your turning thoughts were paused when Tamarack suddenly subject. What are you two gonna do now? I've gotta go back. My Kasan is waiting for me. And I'll walk right there. I gotta make sure he doesn't get lost out. I should probably see how Omi and Oppa are too. They're pretty old and need help sometimes. Took a big hop closer to you, a smile growing across her face. We could go back together. Not in agreement. Relaxed your skin, accepting this was over now. Woohoo! Tamarack snatched up a dry stick off the ground and directed forward the way you would. To our houses! While chuckling, Hugh used his fist to enthusiastic air. Homeward bound! You are loud. I like being loud! She had cupped her hand around her mouth to prove it. She's louder than I am! And so you started to walk towards the brown fall bush. Get to the neighborhood again, but you weren't going to be alone there. Tamarack bounded ahead, bouncing her arm up and down with the conductor marching, while Q came alongside you with casual steps. You were returning to that house. Your new neighborhood had become more orange tone by the time you finally returned to it. The far-off sun slowly sank behind the tallest mountain. The shadows grew larger, pulling away from the bodies to reach out towards the street ahead. The dark shapes morphed, find another as you walked up the matched rhythm. All the while, eyeball chillingness outside world got more powerful than it. Tamarack still stayed about 2 steps ahead. She was closer, and sometimes she got away again. She used her stick to knock at the foot along the sidewalk. He was next to her. She things up, so Art skipped backwards. Guessed it was hit you in the face better, or he just thought it was fun. He pointed out the sharpest bit. Part of it looked almost like a tower, different kind of yard. See, that's the house from the front. Great. And that's your house, right? The one in the middle? Granny owns that further away one. Cool. The sounds of your steps continued to echo through the cul-de-sac and stop right in the path. Drive. Okay, this is it. You pulled out an earring. We gotta meet up again later. See you, Red and Tamarack. You flipped around to go back the same way you had come in. Red house yard. He didn't drop any papers. Bye! Goodbye! Tamarack put both her hands up around. I'm going home too! Tamarack spun in place, dashing further along the sidewalk to the sloped gray house, other out of the neighborhood. Her bag clunked and jingled at her side the whole way there. You waited there in front of the house, light, watching the other two right on the same. What would Red say? Like he wouldn't wave goodbye because none of them are looking at him. To say it's cool to meet you. That was everything. The whole outing was done. And the quiet resolution to stay in the earlier that afternoon drifted ahead. You and Tamara. Now you're at the stage set up hammock. Our life now and forever ways directed relationship we have with the two neighbors you grew up with, called dynamics. This encompasses how your character act feel about one another, how they interact with you. It doesn't determine if you're shy or confident or uncertain. That's done through phrasing action choices. This is setting approach on a top line level. These settings you will be entirely other. The first part of the dynamics relation. Your chosen relation always character. Just adorable, but definitely not true to life. It is possible to change step, even at some points. Step. At least, there are some settings that can pick them. 5 main options relationships are neighbors, friends, family, crushes, beloved. Neighbors mean someone you know, nothing more me than that. Whether it's still amicable, cold, or even hostile, up to you. Friends mean that your friends fall in the standing as possible and have them best friend. But that's not set on the dynamic screen. It's a choice. Family means you love them, always keep them in your life, in a platonic way. Yet choose to love someone deeply. Steps once you know longer. You also won't be able to choose anything else. Favorite. You can bring both Tamarack and your family. Crushes when them have each other. While on this standing, feelings act as though you're friends or it can be known that you're romantic. Later in the game, officially go steady with Tamarack or you. If you begin dating one of them, you're on the dynamic. Change partner. Crushing. It's possible to be crushing on Tamarack at time, but you can only get into an actual romantic relationship with one. If you had been crushing both relationship, you'll automatically be friends with dating. Won't be able to be expressing romantic. And if you do date one, you can't break up with them. Partner status can go away once you get it. It is possible to change simply be crushes option 1. Beloveds that you love them will always keep your life romantic. You can't choose to love someone steps longer. You also won't be able to set anything else pick it. It's completely certain and wavering. Like crushes, romantic own a secret, the official partner. If you're at this setting, you'll also unlock the possibility of getting engaged. Relationship. Hey, there's no requirement to get married or date. Do or don't. Feelings of love is up to you. The leads will respect your boundaries. If you are beloveds and make choices, hoping to get married, ask yourself, partner. Instead, as you all saw, I'd been wanting Cope to do that. The main character will accept that proposal by default because you want that. You can't be a partner. Yeah, and reject them. Also, you can only choose beloveds, one of them. Tamarack and have their own romantic that aren't together. At least that's the current. If time/budget allows, we might be able to add a new set of operations. Love with /dating both of them. You know, because that's totally a thing that happen. No, I'm not really. I think it's terrible. Ah! Not what I meant to do! It's not a guarantee to do it, but that is something to have in mind. That's part 1 of dynamic. The second part is expression. This is how you character generally interact with. Like relationships, expression elements separately for interacting with you. It doesn't have to be both. But expression elements don't have to be your character. They have their own ways of playing themselves. Characters have theirs. Expression elements are broken down further into 3 choices. 1. Deferring, teamworking, testing. 2. Praising, unassuming. 3. Dotting, accepting, admiring. Sorry about that. For meter 1, you can sit to the follower or goes with the flow using deferring. Collaborator, compromiser tries to be the decision. Whether the other person actually wants to follow them or not, you can test it. For meter 2, it determines if your character is out of their way to comments on the other person. 2. If not, they're if so, the comments can be complimentary or flirty and crazy. other or that the other person is incredible the most. We first meet you and Tamarack and they go with their normal kind of expression, kind of interaction with character. That their expression element is always the same. One. Step 1, keep working, nodding. Step 1, Tamarack. Step 2. You spend more time with you get to know the character better. Steps the expression element change to match. If, for example, you're friends with Tamarack and express pleasure whenever you play, notice that. Step 2, instead of testing, working, or even deferring to their connection with your character will develop organically. So in future steps, you'll also have the option of customizing the expression you want to make. And starting in step 2, if you're more than a fourth expression, blocks, or jealous of, not jealous, jealous over. Jealous of means that when life of relationship jealous of a person involved. Jealous over means that comfort if else more or isn't spending as much time with them as normally. The jealousy meter does nothing but let you add more negative relationship interaction as an extra element of drama to life. It's like you guys knew. Like there's no way of getting like Cove. Like you wish I kind of wish that Cove would like show his jealousy more than just like the one moment against Baxter. Even that one moment against Baxter. Kind of gone with the wind. Definitely still not about the actual mechanism. I would love the jealousy to actually like showcase drama, guys. We need drama. By default, you, Tamarack, and you always be not jealous, which skips all that. You'll have to customize the expression element that jealous. Other that kind of emotion drop up. With relationship standing an expression element, you're able to have a dynamic with it. There are dozens of combos for the step in going through the step. Being a crush is different if you're friends than if you were crushing from the start and so on. But you have options out. That ends the dynamic system to help you enjoy the connection you gave with tracking. Alright, well, totally having a crush on friends. Things were so different just that morning. Left and went on a drive. Before then, you'd never been able to go. It seemed only if you had anybody local. But here you were, a person who lived in town. Besides your house, who also lived there. That's probably the other reason. Like, I myself lived on a cul-de-sac. My cul-de-sac had no other. So like, this feels like a way of like expressing my childhood, what I would love to actually have it like be a neighbor, especially on a cul-de-sac experience. Not only because I remember as a cul-de-sac up there, houses and very much. I also had a backyard, like, did not have more of a backyard, all the house area. So I remember literally running from one area to the next, all along the backyard. I was obviously a child in the cul-de-sac. I was literally all alone, just running around and everything. And it's a lot of memories that I about, especially I went to two different elements. One of them was built when I got in grade. Was built just 2 blocks away from my house. And the school I originally went to about 7 blocks. I had never taken a bus until but lots of nostalgia right here, just with these moments in particular. Like, definitely has helped with me wanting the game. Were you friends? You thought so. And even though he wasn't here anymore, a bunch of other things had happened today. He was the only one on your mind. What was it like when you first saw him on the tower? Started to talk to him, know him, all the stuff with his paper. He was special. The air outside kept getting colder. We were so warm on the inside. It was nice and comfortable. We were getting even more lost in your imagination. Wondered when you'd get to see him. Red, is that you? Kasan called out from the fence. Coming! He bounded forward past the gate. Kasan had left the porch and come. Thank you for coming back. I'm sure you were having an exciting time out there. Bet people, Mom, Kasan. Kids my age. I'm so glad. I look forward to hearing all about it. From strength to strength, we've got the key to the house. The agent finally arrived about 20 minutes ago. They're gone now, but I haven't peeked inside yet. Both of us should be here. It's your house, too. Yeah, this is our house now. I feel more confident now that I've got friends on either side of me. Absolutely. Come on. Kasan turned to go and slipped the key out from his pocket. She gestured with the other hand to follow. Kasan led the way as we went back up the stairs. He fit perfectly. Kasan smiled, walking carefully forward, putting in a net, unsure if the option or was extra or super extra. The house opened with a creak. Air came out through the ceiling. Kasan let out a breath of time. Over here, Red. There's space for you to get a little closer. You can see inside. You scooched towards your Kasan's hiding. It was then that you noticed that up. It had a light color and kind of hard texture. Sort of matte that right away used, but it was still nice. It hadn't been burned down like the building. This part of the house wasn't just a thing left on. It wanted it. Someone must have put it there for this happening. Your Kasan and in. Written across the top, it said, "Welcome." Aww! That's adorable! Kasan softly tapped the top of your shoulder, bringing you back to the moment. Kept the hand there, head with it. The two of you walked to the door. Everything in the air was still. The wind was blocked, but it was practically as inside as it was out of the house. Kasan shifted cautiously, feeling around for a light switch. Got it! A dim light from the ceiling sparked on in an instant there in front of you, old-fashioned living room. The house had furniture that came with it, but it wasn't a set. Pieces were mismatched, each chair, table, and bookshelf was color. Okay. We might need to do something about that, Kasan. They were covered in transparent plastic dust. The room had a real fireplace, a brick, the back, staircase up to the floor. Beautiful! Even better than the photos. So much potential inside these walls. Only potential if you're willing to put the effort in. I mean, it blew your old apartment out of the water. Let's just do that. You had to admit it was cooler than you could let yourself open. Your Kasan touched the tip of her finger. Muted blue next to her. We'll have to clean up as much as we can to make it livable before bed. It'll be a long night. We can unpack more of our things tomorrow. I'll be doing much of that on my own. You're gonna be busy. Kasan winking her eyes. After all, it's the first day of school of 5th grade. Why would you move to a new neighborhood the day before school starts? To me, that sounds dumb. Sounds so dumb. I didn't even move. Like, I can't even imagine anybody doing that. I would never do it. I would never do it. Only time that I literally no. Like, it was horrible enough when I had to go away for the summer in 6th and 7th grade, and I came back to school a month late, and it was so bad. Can you imagine moving to a small town? I feel like that would be the impact of coming back to school. Oh, this sounds like a nightmare, Ma! Hassan! Scared to even imagine having. Yeah, Red's gonna be scared. He does not want all eyes on him. Red is very much not wanting it. He let out a breath gently while watching. We just got here in time, clearly. Her eyes drifted closed. There was a crouch further away without having gone anywhere. Even if I am here early for the job, I was not gonna make you be a full week late to class. Why couldn't we have come a week earlier? Being new to a town like this is already gonna make you a point of attention. Ma, you're not helping, Casa! You are not helping at all! You couldn't tell if she thought that was a good thing or a bad thing by her tone, but Kasan didn't say any more about it. Lifted her circle scarf from her head, careful not to have it catch on top. So, want to see the upstairs? Not really, but I'll go. The second floor was more of the same. Lonely, sealed away rooms. Picture really had been pages that were covered up by plastic. Not buying furniture? Are we just gonna use all this furniture that was left behind? I wouldn't trust furniture that was just left behind. And lots of dust. You could see the footprints your casa left behind. Wide and naked eyes. After checking the state of the house, Casa made the decision. Well, after a minute, there were too many dust bunnies that might jump up. Couches if a spot was filled. I hope I can remember where I put that dust. The broom itself shouldn't be hard to find. We returned to the living room after Casa got her trusty pair of crafting out. She put her scarf inside it while taking scissors out. Casa then went through the box. Her one was a shiny, unopened with a ribbon on top, but her gift was just stuff she already owned. One by one, she took out the supplies and brought over the moment, setting them around her face. Then she divided them out into a pile. A pair of yellow gloves, fresh dust, a bottle of cleaning spray, and a full roll of paper towel. Kasan had a set of her own. The other was going to need them. There was only one broom and duster that she did successfully find. We were going to take turns using it. The first move in make the house a place with an actual live-in plan was yanking open the window, flow going. So before even that, you had to get the locks on themselves to come. You dug your fingers between the base of the window frame and the latch, pressing, forcing it to move its will. When the lock clicked on the opposite side, you shoved the glove with gloves were already patchy with filth. Icy, crisp breeze that flowed in from outside was a lot more lovely. You got a good look at the neighborhood while catching your breath. Street lights on. But then you left the window there to do your job and got back indoors. The two of you went back and forth, down around the house to pick up here. Good. Some windows were jammed in place tight with that alone for your casa. The next point on the list was to somehow scrub down all the first walls, counters, and every other inch of space with dust settled, which was every entire house. Oh my god, this feels like child labor! You picked a spot and gave it a fuzzy head of a nice line of wood followed behind the motion. Pattern while whenever the dust spot, go back over it again. Kasan was able to track down. Not that you could tell the difference with all the windows wide open. Eventually, you had a short dinner with Kasan, standing around it, dusty rest. It was packed in a car. Simple sandwiches, fruit and thick, mashed box. There were no groceries. We were getting off. Empty. The relief that there was nothing gross in there. You had been prepared for the such as an old, practically abandoned house, but there wasn't a single bottle of nasty ketchup or box left of anything. Thank God. The trash from your food was dumped into a giant black garbage bag that gray stained towels and wads of squished paint. Somehow the bag was getting filled with body. It was a mark of how much it was done. Looking at just the house hadn't got started. The only way to check that was to keep going and Hassan talked about when encouraging herself to do nothing again after. You and your Hassan polished up the house the best you could for an hour. But when your usual bedtime arrived, Hassan put the duster down. She wasn't going to have you late, no matter how excited you were. Heck, good job, Hassan! She guided you to the first bathroom, once on the plucking her overnight bag on the way. Hassan explained how she moved around throughout the whole house, closed the windows, busy. The bathroom was left you to get ready to sleep. Inside the bag was a little baby-sized mouthwash. All you had for night, long pants. Guys, trying to get all the grimy off your way long, but it was. Then you changed Jay's and toss on her turn. While she was away, got her favorite action figure. It wasn't something out. Furniture was still plastic wraps, crouched down in the rug. Hassan returned a couple minutes. Her purple damn. She also had bags up the arm. Shifted one forward. Dropped the floor. It landed. Puff. That will be mine. Hassan noted while trying to untie the band. Another roll. Hold and not. When it didn't budge, she lifted the bundle to her face. Tried the threaded other. She got it loose. Furiously flapped the bag all the way open. She laid it down on the clear spot on the floor. There you are, Red. All ready. Okay. You used your feet to rock back and yourself across the rug towards the bag without getting to the ground. Hassan chatted casually while spoon bag by. We'll need to get some wood so we can actually use that fireplace on nights. Did your Hassan know how to use a fireplace? You've never seen one in person. So far, you'd still never seen one that had a fire in it. Luckily, the house was without stopped letting the heat on. That was sort of a surprise to me. Hassan soon settled down on the bed. That cross-legged with his back solidly, her hands came up to rest on top of his knees, and he made direct eye contact. Thank you for your help with the house. He'll be a home before we know it at this rate. You're welcome. She slouched her shoulders, some of the stiffness. Did I tell you about what happened today? I would love that. With your Hassan's and began to narrate the entire story of Haber's adventure. From the moment it hit to the way it led down across on his tower with then finding Tamarack in the aisle and surprises. Hassan listened with her leaning forward and grinning wider. Wrapped it up by explaining Tamarack after everything discovered. What a way to spend the afternoon! I'm proud of you, Red. You're a bona fide detective. Bona fide detective! Oh yeah, Red is definitely a detective. Not a Sherlock Holmes, but you know. But I had no idea you'd gotten on such a winding journey. You kicked your legs up and down on your sleeping bag with very action. It was a fun story to tell. Somehow, the events of the day felt like they were a long time ago. just heard about it. But it had been paper shoulder. You held the note in your hands. Saved that paper with your thing. Had nice memories that were. With your topic all done, Hasan softly spoke up to share her own thoughts. It's odd. Imagine an entire building collecting dust for all this time, isn't it? No one wanted to live here. Not renters, not the man who owned it. But it's a charming house. Yeah, it is. How did we get to have something? Hasan pinched her lips together in consideration, talking. There aren't a lot of opportunities out there. At my company, retiring former HR manager was the first big position I've ever heard of for this area. And even that didn't open up to people already living in town. I was asked to relocate to take the. Creases flew around her eyes, caught herself before a frown followed. Oh, it's not an issue. I'm grateful. We'll find ourselves a place in a slow pace, and at least we'll have each other regardless. Yep, you and me are a team. Count on me, Hasan. We are a team. Very impressive one, I'd say. Then your Hasan stretched her legs out fully across her, feeling your toes inside the black socks she had on. Hasan right there on the pool. We didn't hang out together for bedtime night. It was special. As you thought about that, your eyelids were trying to themselves up with making eyes when it was extra late. All right, dear. Get inside the sleeping bag now before you blink out on top of it. Yes, I should, Mom. Yes, I should. Hasan, bedtime. That sounded like a pretty good idea. Scooping out your action, close your arm, shimmied into the open end of the bag. It was made out of fabric, so smooth. Wasn't difficult. You moved further down and edge. You were wrapped up like a loaf of bread in grocery. Hasan got to a short jog over the far wall of the room, lifted a finger to the lights, gazed down on you, pressing on her gentle. Good night, Red. Night, Hasan. The room went pitch black while your eyes were trying to adjust. Shuffling sounds of Hasan. He'd join you on the floor again. Those noises, Hasan didn't talk in. There weren't sounds of cars passing by. There was a thumping thought you might have heard. The night noises were a lot different than you had. They were so quiet and made you notice them before. Have to get to know the sounds better. Another part of the house's personality. You were okay with that. It was normal to take time to get to know each other. See? Like the game already knows like parts of Red's character. Pressed your eyes shut. Head was thoughts of you and Tamara. You tossed and turned in the squishy container, wanting to sleep tomorrow would come soon, but too excited. It was way too long at night. Then your second day arrived. Hello again. We mentioned earlier, but occasionally opportunity. Hey, you may also be able to take off accessories, hats, and cars at the same moment. If you don't want to be a bother with your outfit, you can toggle off. Right. I like to see dress up section. I want to pick up my have fun. For keeping our overlayers, I will feel my boy try to then double. Other than that, that's it. That's all we're doing here, guys. But your second day had just arrived. Only one corner of the world outside the window had any sunlight. The rest was all shadow. The lights in the house had to be on for you. You thought it should be criminal to make people have to wait this early. But your home phone wasn't working, so you called the mayor to complain. At least your Hasan did yours. The unpacking started started again a lot later. That's what your Kasan said. When you were brushing your teeth. Now, you both only already out. Food around to still just stuff from yesterday. It was what you had for breakfast already. See your Kasan packing a brown bag for lunch too. Ma! Kasan! Why were you not prepared with food? That was the last of the preparation you had. Cool. You're pretty sure your Kasan really wanted to be the one who flies together. She put sacks of paper, notebook, pencil case, ruler, or in her backpack. Kasan had kept the pack in the middle seat of the car and it was right there. Class. If it had gone missing, maybe you would have had to keep the box. Same with everything else you own to this place in big boxes. You watched her from your comfy spot on your bag. You'd already gotten dressed for the day, but that didn't bed again. There wasn't anywhere else to sit. Soon you'd be leaving the house, the neighborhood, all the parts of the bar. The next stop to North Acre. You were kind of wondered why your Kasan was bothering thing. None of that stuff in the backpack would make you prepared for that. But school thoughts were shaken out of your head when a muffled thumping sound in the air. Kasan slowly lowered her hands down the counter, and at the same time her head and eyebrow went up. Yes? Already? At this hour? Your Kasan left your lunch bag in the top and went knocking. Ran to stick by your Kasan. The speed of your chase made your bag slide against the floor, but you didn't. You were able to reach Kasan before the door. Push the long handle down with forward, squeezed open. Glanced ahead, squinted your eyes just from the brightness inside to the pale dawn outside. Standing tall on the welcome, seeming totally at home at your home, was the new friend you met before, Mr. Flynn. Though he said he was also Autumn. We're gonna try using the nickname sometime. Autumn's fluffy hood tucked snugly around his head. He didn't usually do that, at least based on how much you... Wasn't much. We only had 2 hours yesterday. Not that much time to actually know this boy. Maybe it was because the foreskin pulled layer. You shuddered just from the window. Open. When he caught sight of you, face, he popped onto the balls of greeting. Good morning. Seeing who it was, you. Well, gonna ask. It's already really close to you. You puffed up. Please come over. He mirrored your moves of facing Kasan. Visiting me! Oh, Red wouldn't do that. He will wave bashfully. That's what my boy would do. He will wave bashfully, say nothing. You stayed put, but to give his focus to Kasan. Ah! No! I'm Mr. Q Link, your neighbor, and the same age as Mr. Red II. The two of us met yesterday. Ah, yes, I've heard. I've been anticipating getting to meet you, and those feelings were well placed. So polite. Hugh straightened out the line of his bandana with both hands, wiggling cheekily as he made direct eye contact. Well, if somebody has been talking about me, I hope it was the good stuff. My boy, what other stuff do you think I know? Now, I should introduce myself as well. I'm Miss Second, Red's mother. Nice to meet you. May I speak with Red, Miss Second? There's something I wanted to talk to you about. Thoughtfully, your Kasan's glance drifted down to without looking back at Kasan replied. That would be fine. I'll finish getting your bag ready. You two can chat. You clasped primly. Thank you very much. Hassan let out a confused smile, dressed on, walked back inside the house, leaving you alone with you. You looked back at him. Only the morning something good was already happening. What did you want to say? Autumn didn't sit around the probably didn't. He came right out and said, which was fine. Want to walk to school together? It's the first day. He squared his shoulders and held out a hand, counting off fingers. Going to the same place, in the same grade, there's a good chance we'll even be in the same class. Going together would make everything so easy. Why can't I nod? Oh, there's the nod agreement. All right. He popped an enthusiastic double up. And guess what else is a reason for why we should walk together? What? His gaze got sharper, but it didn't scare me at all. The glance was like a fancy cut rather than a weapon. It's because I wanted you to be there. Aww, you're adorable, sweet boy. He wanted you to hang out with him? So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense that we go together. With his hands in his pockets, Q shifted the whole top half of his body diagonally to the side. The tilt of his head really showed off the bend to himself smile. Oh. Flung an arm back out and stared faces. It might have been to stop you before you say anything, or to keep getting whatever else he wanted to talk about. And it wouldn't just be us. I'm gonna keep going down the cul-de-sac to Granny's house so I can ask Tamarack next. So that's it. What do you think about all three of us walking? Good plan, right? Great idea. Wow, you really do think of everything. Let's do it! Thrilled that he was involved. You swung your hands again. I'll go get my backpack and tell Kasan we're going. Cool, I'll wait here for you. We parted with Autumn. Father. The sound of your feet against the floor was the noise of the house. You couldn't have snuck up on Kasan if you tried. Each step you took brought you closer. A smile on her face larger. Get distracted from her job. Her gaze stayed stuck to the ground. Kasan placed one more paper in your backpack and snapped the plastic clasp on the top flap closed. With that, she promptly back up by the lowered herself down over the pipe. Slow, offered the backpack over to you. Exceptional timing. Here, you're set to go. It was nice and light when you came back from it. It wouldn't last. Soon you'd have your actual around with you. What happened with our guest? Did he leave? He answered the question while lifting one arm after another, wide open backpack straps. He's out there still. He wants me to walk to school with him. Can I go? Shifted your grip to the dangly end of your armband and gave them a hug to the straps, fully securing the bag. He came over to ask you that. Talk about convenient. The young Mr. Lin must know the way far better than I do. You certainly walk together. That was exactly what you thought you could count on her hand. As she smiled, her face lit up softly. Sunshine outside. Kasan pointer. Enjoy your first day. There's only one of them per year. Still weren't cheery about about going to that was a fact. Didn't feel any better, but you didn't want anybody to notice. That would make it worse. Tried to bury all that inside so no one let you go and order her hands on her thighs. Bounce up tight. Your Kasan folded her arms proudly, watching her stay, going ahead without her. At the open door, you could Autumn patiently on your turned his back to the house and instead looked at the neighborhood. Came to his side and that caught his attention. But his gaze didn't go yours. Right back to the backpack on. Autumn told Kasan, it's okay. Backed his hands together and gasped. Alright, time to go. You know, Blaze, it's been forever since I've gotten to walk to school with him. A teeny tiny yelp popped out from him, partially because of what he said, and partially because your knees were back together. Said it. It called us by our nickname! Autumn! You win! Win! My boy wins! He called you Blaze, and he said you were friends! If it only happened a second ago, but it replayed in your head and made your stomach fluttery. You were friends. Me too, Autumn. This is great. He grinned ear to ear. Autumn was full of certainty. Hugh easily swiveled all the way around on his heels, firmly planted his floorboards of the food. Then he confidently strode forward, leapt over the little steps to the ground. Autumn had places to be, and nothing was going to stand in the way. Eagerly went along with him down the stone path, the fence, onto the neighborhood sidewalk. It took less than a minute to go around the neighborhood that led to the east pointy, colorful street. Tamarack's, also her own Opa's house. You wandered right into the hard porch. You tapped out a rhythmic set of knocks. You brought his arms to his side, shook his head to readjust the stair felt, and positioned himself squarely in the center of the entry. The old door began to jiggle in the frame, shivering cold outside too, but someone on the inside. Sucked a breath, had no idea who was facing. And then the door swung wide open, flattering the dust of flowery coming out from the house. A much smaller breeze came out from the well. Still clasping the hand, heading wood, Tamarack was. She had her bag and scarf on for the day ready. Hello! Good morning, Tamarack. Her eyes popped open. Hadn't looked at the door below. She could see who it was from the answer. Tamarack's tone of light and support. You? Panda Red! Maybe she'd used your name, not your nickname like Autumn. Maybe she would. God. Tamarack kept talking without giving why she called you. You're both here! Hi! Lower her gaze shyly. Red is not nearly as close to her as he is to Q already. You kept his very proper offer to practice. You. I'm glad we didn't miss you. We're all going to the same school, right? We'll walk as a group. Want to? Please? I don't want you to go all by yourself. She blinked rapidly, many times in a row, the soft pink light eyelashes. Oh! So cute! They all so pooped! Oh, okay. I want to come. She twisted almost the whole way around. He just barely all the way on him. Tamarack then leaned over, bending powerful, shouted in steps of the house. I'm going to school now! Her loud, high-pitched call echoed the hallway. Have a good day, Tamarack hopped forward. It was a small, but that was all it took to over in the house. Now it's a girl. Hugged at the top with shut. I'm ready! The quickness of it all was too much. He had a second to pick up with. Did chuckle. Perfect! Autumn lazily settled hips, eyes moved off side. So there was nothing special to see that way. Guess we've actually got to go to class. Yeah. She pumped her fist up and down with a pattern that matched. Gonna swallow hard. All cluttered together, you trampled off on a full set of cul-de-sac the road. The trip was almost the opposite of last time. The sun was coming up and down the neighborhood and back to. But that wasn't what really stood out to you. A little bit amazing. Already a last time. And you could guess that this journey actually last time it ever happened. It just become the last time it happened before the new now. First part of the story was hard. There was only one way out of the neighborhood unless someone hiked out on the wind. That would be cool. Maybe you'd be able to do that sometime. Your actual path had you brushed past the Tamarack, but you weren't stuck with the same limits as this morning. You right on without even stopping back there. Now you'll travel the woods crowded in one out, till suddenly structure bushes, thick over apart, sky, world unfolded ahead of you. Sunshine climbed the mountain, just barely pull your while the stars fluttered back. You were right in the center of the path. It flowed over the ground, blanket every small bump. River. Along the street, huge wooden rose to the sky, so that rival stretching foam lines open together. Even the golden grove was blazed with things, vast resident as neighbor. Tamara trembled over the grass, pushing her arm linked in front of her. She didn't get any few strides from the bottom. A spot on the line. Like cars. His eyes were aimed out at the sky. You ended up somewhere. Tamara was swift. Free for a time to die. Despite your hesitation about what matched being left behind was worse. All the air that went out the window. All the air went out the window when she started listening. Tamara frantically stuck it out of his pocket while poking out of his mouth. You and Tamara just watched him, hugged at his jacket and walking. Two of you probably shared this thought. There is no book or paper or something. Something! Aha! And it was, but it wasn't his special thing. You grabbed a folded packet of white paper that was covered all over with tiny words. You could tell what it was. That many together with that many words on them only ever came from one place. School. You held it close to him. He had his nose completely in one place. But for some reason, he talked to the camera. Which room did you get? For a second, you felt the thing. Both. Who's your teacher? Cameron thought hard, didn't find an answer. Head. Swished her hand through the flap of the bag without a buckle. She had to find her own thing. I remember Hassan told me I'm in room 24 with Miss Murray. You used thumbs down. They stopped hiding. You could see you smiling. Wait, that's my room too! Tamara waved her packet in the air. P3! You're gonna be stuck together forever! I can't believe you're gonna be in the same room as Q. You're gonna be stuck together forever! Hassan had given you probably got his mom and Tamara got Tamara from her own notebook. Despite being kind of different than her own name, a smirk settled a particular spot on your face. All according to plan, if you somehow could have. We were roommates. He didn't need the packet for anything else. Shuffled it into his pant pocket, shrugged it, shoulder. There's only 3/5 of the classes we could have been. And Q made sure it was deep enough to not just fall out. He brought both his arms, shrugged and tapped his feet. Miss Murray. I almost made it without her being my teacher. It was close. Cameron peered into his eyes and looked over so much that he almost didn't have to say a question. Word. Got it. Don't worry, she's nice. The best teacher for you. Ha ha ha. Is she, is she? You made a very serious and reassuring face sign with me. But in an instant, snapped it. And you're probably gonna be shocked. Miss Murray isn't just a... She's a mom. She has kids that are just her kids, not students. Wow! I never want a teacher as my parent. Me too! Yeah. But now I know where we're really going. I can bring us to the right door. The extra burst of confidence got Key to take a long stride ahead of Tamarack, keeping his chin high. Tamarack bounced across the grass, giving her knee high to pick up. He didn't let him. Shyly gonna get caught up. Stumbled forward to get back in the row. ask about the house or do we ask about school? Asked Tamara, are you worried about going to school? No. The answer came so quickly and surely that it school? This time she was longer. Tipped her head from side to side, taking thoughts right when thought. It's good. Really? That's sort of surprising. I would have guessed you wanted to just play outside. Her red eyes narrowed, but it was clearer than ever that they burned. Learning is important! With one eyebrow raised, he crossed his arms in front of him, maybe trying to defend himself by his hair. Wow, that's wise! Oh. Hopefully that was enough convincing. Listen. Her gaze was fixed on the ground and Jonathan nodded, getting closer. Red, I was just wondering. Shifting your face to his voice, you paused to tell him back and your back on his head. How are you? The question almost made you stop moving right in the walk. Words weren't cheering. It wasn't flattering word. It wasn't asking a question. Or had to. That was the job. But it was still quiet. Slower. It was asking thoughtfully. Somehow, Autumn sang all confident. Felt cold. So it was nice. He could tell you weren't happy for it. And your reaction was enough for Tamara to be wrong. Fred, are you sick? I don't want to go. No, I have to go to a new school. Tamara can keep around. Now, no one. I don't know what it's like to move someplace else. Go to a school, it's different. A tiny bit. But thinking about me doing it, I feel like it'd be tough. If you're really doing it, I guess that. You too, Tamara. She flipped her frown upside down. You're on an adventure! Things are getting good. You'll see. Her excitement. Weren't even sure about it. Made her so excited. Maybe Tamara thought change was fun and pain. But no matter what that spark was, it couldn't be put out by anything. You bounced off her positivity. Yeah, the great stuff is right around the corner. So maybe not having to go to class. After that. He got Tamarack to laugh at that, and squished it. Light. That is the laugh of Tamarack. Tell me if you find something good, right? Yep. Yeah. Somehow your own face smiled. Still had no idea what you like. But not every little terrible. You're able to push yourself going. The longer the walk went on, instead of looking right in front of her, her steps were feeling unevenly. You had done the same Okay. Hey, so it's kind of funny how you both didn't like the woods that much. It's the only nice place I've seen so far. She said it in the plainest way possible, and the words still made you gasp hard enough to cough. Have you places other than the forest? Yeah, lots. They're not good. But I can't believe it. How about try to make Tamara change legs? Yeah. You shook off the shock Tamarack's hit him. Turned his cheek to the front. Shoulder. He was winding up for a comeback. I guess I can give you one thing. There's a pretty special kind of fun in that in all my years of living, Tell me the thing! Tell me the special thing! You tell me the special thing! It was too funny! You could watch that all day. The conversation of Tamarack's the stickers that escaped. Down the road, some a crosswalk past the that was the brightest building far. There had been taller ones. That one was. There was a lot of those. For the acre, the name made sense. I wondered exactly how many acres. Dozens of other out under the front arch of the straps to go back hard, crushing the red. Then you went closer by your there. Inside was a long hall on the side. It was shiny and dull like the big down the front. Most of the board was bunch of walls. Nobody was why is there stuff already up? No. Why is there stuff already up? There's normally not stuff up on the first day of school. What the? No! There shouldn't be stuff up on the first day of school. There really should not be like any decorations or anything up on the first day of school. That's not unrealistic. The floor had checked the tile pattern. There was too much sound. Nice and warm. A brand new class, 5th grade, number smelled like hard at construction work, ground, anything that can be made like that. Why would it already smell like thunder? There were tons of leaves stuck to the walls, shelves, and out from where some of those things. Kids sat to groups, desk, table. There was just one front or back the way in with Tamarack loud hair. Wow! I thought it was gonna be ugly! Oh. Quietly. Autumn shrugged his backpack off. They hit the ground and nothing in the place caught his eye, good way or bad way. It was like nothing around him existed. He would just watch look, chuckle at the faces made. The classes looked the same for everyone, in every grade, every year. Oh, it wasn't that he couldn't see what he did. He already had seen it. You knew school was else backpack behind him, up against the Everglades. There was already a bunch of bags that one by one. They were almost completely both jackets, cluttered piles. There wasn't enough for all the brought. You're pretty lucky. Your first time here. But you're only gonna have to do it once. You're gonna graduate next year. You'll all be new then. He talked while he pulled out his arms out of the jacket, always seemed for so. Tossed it on top of the rounded coats. Tamarack she tugged it hard, wrapped it. He talked too. I told you this place was weird and never changed. That That made cute at her. The sound was almost exactly like the backpack. School is different than the entire town, Tamarack. Seeing Autumn without his fluffy jacket felt like a lion without its mane. He folded his arms high across his chest. But you were starting to he had all the pride of a lion, even without a jacket. But you acted like that. Like Freddie hadn't gloves on. You gonna wear those to class? Tamara held tight to the strap of the bag. It for sure wasn't going to press the bag. That meant she was definitely already done with shuffling hard. Tamarack's overalls were the most overcoat had one off. No coat or full poncho. The overalls were kind of short too. They didn't cover her whole leg. Her ankles had long socks. Very warm. I had to wonder if she those sweaters. I chose a hoodie. That's just wrong wording on that part. Took off your sweater too. A hoodie, guys! I'm very clear that it's a hoodie. Not having your sweater on makes it different. You weren't coming or going in. You're really stagnant for hours. But all you could do was find a quick pile on. Sit behind the computer. Good morning. Welcome. You just about caused an avalanche. Nowhere we could jump. The open door was never moved. No. Her braids did match it. There, but it wasn't missing. It was twice as tall as everybody else. That had to be. Her soft brown eyes looked down. After face. Pattern on her legs. I was light at night. Dark. Her rosy smile. Nice to see you. This will be. Yeah. You stretched the back as far as at the same time. Why? He turned. Had the kind of boss have. He had to work. Had over. He asked. Really cheerful and not real. He was trying to be nice, but wasn't trying that hard. So when his eyes were rolling away, his passed over got stuck there. A sly grin sounded off lullaby. Baby. Miss Murray's pencil pointy eyebrows lifted. Blinked one time and two. Stared Tamarack next. Hello, I'm your Miss Murray. Am I right to say that you're right, Cowman? Tamarack bopped her back. I'm Tamarack! She followed that really short face. That's Red! He's a boy! That is so great. Murray spoke so nice. Wasn't surprised. Probably didn't need to ask her. What? You'd be so. You mind? I'd like to talk to you. Okay. Tamarack finally lowered her back down to her sides. Still bumped her head. I put it up and down with her butt. It clattered loudly. I'm gonna grab the side of Tamarack's overalls. In return, she gave me a look. We're gonna go together. There'll be the two of us the whole time. That did make me gave it back on. Thank you. Oh. She gestured lightly. You turned to more and more of his leg, and you lost sight of his had been frown on. After she was really gone, back to her. Autumn was smirking. Good luck out there. He tipped over one body down. Other leg balanced. Go. Autumn slipped a hand jacket, hook, also under scarf top of it. Fabric. Didn't come out and he got in a hold notebook and pencil. Hugh slowly chest up and brought his one hovering foot down, birthing. The whole thing was graceful, followed it by wildly waving notebook goodbye. And a paper fell out when he Tamarack's trying to talk too fast, and none of it was real words. Her arms grasping, like she could pick them up and take that. That didn't work. Stepped away on light, carefully, going up. Yes, they all raised their heads. Hi. He was gone. The teacher. Tamarack's dark red eyes. Wasn't like anybody else in the room could understand her. Gave her a look back. Scattered. This is gonna be a long, however long it is. You made a beeline for the tail from the carpet and hatched up. Up on it, working low. Forest. Ha ha! Ah, jokes, Red! Before putting it in your pocket, Red opened pops. Flipped it back. It was a list. Maybe he was trying to remember. Darren. Tucked it away in his pocket. That was the arrow. Tamarack back in the box. This time it was bending her fluffy locks of around her. Come on, Red! Skipped off to the desk, smiled, trailed after her, didn't want to be left behind. Off in the other side of the desk, at least the very top of the wood, the center part was lighter, from all the tiny scratches on the surface. The far away, just else, he didn't hair that was behind them. Stayed in the front and back and edge. Got to talk to you, Tamarack, gently. I appreciate you. I wanted to let you expect the first. Why? Asked. Like, nothing for attention. Everyone else is simple. I'd like to introduce roll call when all the other kids are. The hell, Teach! This is like everything that Red does not want to happen. Oh. Tamarack looked at the buckles of the bag that made it up and thump. Down. Her gaze moved around too. Eating wasn't exciting. You thought you weren't ready for school. You weren't sure anymore. Why couldn't they come up with some other way for where they could just let you history? You were already getting a tummy ache. Maybe happen. The face you made wasn't what you wanted. Class, Miss Murray could offer promises. We'll make sure it will be alright. Kids will get it. Teacher slid her across the desktop wide. A couple of minutes class. We'll have the spots. I made a seating already. A little bit of comfortable if you like. Tamarack's her bag. That sounded like a smack. Does that mean me and Red will Sorry about that, everybody. Does that mean me and Red get to sit together because we're neighbors and friends? Her outburst made you want to give her worse, Red. Your heart wasn't going to stop running around your eyes and finally hoping. You thought she might have paused on purpose to make it dramatic. You paused to make it more dramatic? You're giving me heart attacks here. Yes, I can. Woohoo! Made Tamarack popped up on one the other. Yes, her arms went in the air. Red, we're gonna sit together. Yeah. That's something. Anything else? I sit at the back of the class. I don't want any eyes on me. Yes, you can. That's what you'll both do. But I'll put you in the back. Oh, is Q next to us cute? Blip. Why is it so hard with Tamarack's voice? Oh, is Q next to us too? He's our neighbor. Miss Murray was a really proper. Didn't have one wrinkle on her. But creases suddenly eyes and mouth after that. Mine spelled not again. Oh, sorry. I'm glad you're along with you. There are students last year. It's their turn. Your eyebrows went up so high you lost them. That many people wanted to sit by you. The teacher took in other people's where other people wanted to sit? Ah, shock. But also, why would you make it the whole year? Ah, not what I meant to do. Kind of rude. But you had to turn your head right around to the guy you were talking. He was leaning over a bunch of people who were still talking. No, there's a big smile on his face. On every face, big. Tilted your head back with the game, not all the way. Only moved enough to the side instead. Her gaze was directed to you. Ripped the strap of her bag that was yes. Since the day you moved in, it had just been cul-de-sac. Even if the day you moved yesterday, same group, Tamarack and Keith, neighbor. But you weren't in your neighborhood anymore. On the outside of that Tamarack wasn't. You and her were Grove now. No people, and they did you. You had forever. And it wasn't only that. You already learned something on your first day of school. It was popular. 3 of you were still friends. That's what mattered. Not what other people thought of a friend. Not looking at her to stop your talk to you. So, Murray had Tamarack to stop your. Then she pointed across the couple of desks back to the side. Those are yours. Tamarack's, all red. Excellent. Window seat! Window seat! Gonna sit in a window seat! Tamarack happily about her desk. Besides the roll call, will be a surprise. This will be a regular class. Thank you for having me. Take your Tamarack's plated was to push a smile between Paul's hair. Okay, let's go, Red. Alright. Oh my boy! He's so nervous! The teacher stayed resting up against the desk while Tamarack said excited and back to you and over. Pattered about how it was done right next to all the things here. It was hard not to. She beamed so bright it was like her sparkling that fade sunshine that. But the glow you had on your own face had to be as the two of you might break down. Laugh and a call came left. Attention students, class is starting. Take your seat. Just like she said, when did you tell the other students where they were sitting? I want to know that answer. You were pulled it out from the tables and gave sitting in it a try. Hard, cold, and back part great. It bent away at the bottom part. It felt like leaning against the top of a shiny slide on the playground. If you weren't paying attention, you might fall right off. Maybe that was a waiting focus. Tamarack was right there next to the side by the wall of the past her, the rustling passed inside. Their golden ball all bunched together, kind of looked like Tamarack's hair, not a sparkle. She plopped her bag on the desk. Actual bag hid. Tried to bundle up the strap on top so tips of her rain resting carpet tapped her together and made the shoes excited or a little. Red, we're gonna be right here for the rest of the year. Yep, I've got the best seat. Tamarack patted her hand. Having giggled and stayed pretty. Glanced out of the room. Hugh was there too. It wasn't the same spot. But those other classmates happened. He was hanging one of his arms across the top edge, settled in so snugly he looked like a heavy blanket thrown over. His head to the side and rested on his shoulder. Hugh somehow made himself sit even more relaxed. But that happened. I did. Autumn firmly pressed down his eyebrows and he wasn't there when you together, and he wouldn't be there with you now. Now he found out. He only looked that way long enough for good impression. Then your friend, house neighbor, and not sweet, smiled instead. He used the brown eyes, gazed, hurrying, directing your attention to her. His eyes kept moving right into a dramatic frown. It wasn't hard to imagine. Teacher, huh? Something like that. For a minute you excellent. But he couldn't face her forever. Last time, he left back to bed again. It was okay. All the time. I can totally insist he be with me all the time. You don't come true. Miss Murray patiently settled every step of silence. That's when things changed. Someone in the room had a lesson. Hello, class. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to your first grade. Gave a round of applause. Normally the people sitting watching. Run. You guess, Miss. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll learn a lot too. But also, big counting on you and for the rest of the students, all right? Yes, Miss Murray. Around half the class answered. Heart in loud cheer and rumble. Thank you. Let's start with Prologue. Cross past the desk. Hubby's corner. Got that and if around Jack behind. Step back and pause. Sweater makes everything about her softer. You know the about everything alphabetical first. And I call your name and here, Miss Murray. So excited. Cool with you. What? Why? Why do you have to do that? Why you gotta do that, hon? Why you gotta do that? No. No. No teacher should ever ask you to say I'm asking me to say more, even if you're just saying I'm excited and happy to get with you, sounds like a line cross, and I don't like the fact that you're telling me that I do that. That time, almost the whole class scattered. Stickers, friends, whining outcries. We can't do that. Somebody eat food. Okay, just here we'll work. God, the class telling her, don't you dare do that. Got her to fix it. And now, I know you're listening. Our soft boys had a feel with kick. They had fun with it. Let's be clear. First name started with R. It probably would be a while before you will. It would have been better to have it happen. Stop you. Who knew? Not having to do it at all would have been best. Miss Murray went to A. Q Lynn. Mr. Q Lynn didn't really raise his hand. Popped a thumbs up from back. Here, Miss Murray. That worked. And then you're next. But not just cause she was on your first name letter, but because her eyes were said anything. Why are your eyes on me, hun? Red seconds. Red does not do well with all eyes. It would have been great with the next person. And Miss Murray just looked down and frowned. Like she doesn't understand that I don't do well under pressure. You bit your lip and stuck up it. Hey, stuck in a stalemate that had dinner. Between her anyway. As your seat neighbor broke it by flailing both her arms over her head. Tamarack! Are you gonna save me, hon? Sorry, Miss Murray. I'm sorry. There's no one around with that name. You're gonna have to call someone else. Evil witch! See, this is why I'm playing it. It's adorable. Look how adorable she is. To focus on her, Tamarack smacked her. She could push her life down. That was gonna give her trick away. Hey, you adorable, adorable girl. Thank you. Adorable, adorable girl. You're gonna have to thank her later. You've never been more relieved. But you still worried about Tamarack getting in trouble for lying. Tamarack's plan was enough to smile again. Too bad it didn't work for getting her to skip your turn. No other name was called. Darn. But before she could come up with some other way to get you involved, a totally different. That too. Oh, he was gonna save me now, can't he? You had sprung to us in the middle of class. All attention was thrown onto him. Not that easily, holding their stares, flung them on you again. Point of it. Q, do you not understand that I don't do well with all eyes on me? My boy, learn the entire reason we froze. That kid right there is Mr. Red Second. You and everybody's gonna be really nice to him. Q's gaze lightly danced from student. Each one was dared by his each person reviewed talent. The class really domain. Oh, look at this sweet, adorable boy. Thank you. His big show did get a gasp of shock from one person, but it wasn't very convincing sounding. Red, when did you get here? I'm sorry, guys. I can't. Adorable. Adorable! You acted very official announcing, so Tamarack made him snicker like a little kid again. They're the best. Like, they're the best! After his mission was accomplished, Autumn leaned down, and his that was pretty much a vow. It's always there when you... He deserved to take a vow. Nobody else could have done it. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Bauman. Thank you too, Mr. Thank you to my friends for taking all eyes off of me. And, breaking... Because, I don't like... Red does not like being the center of attention. Roll call went on, and soon as the time it was actually wrong. Bauman. Tamarack's arm shot up in record time. It had already been wound up and ready at that moment. I'm Tamarack! That's me! It wasn't exactly what I would say, but Tamarack got an A for effort. Miss Murray continued the last name. Once every stiff Fritz. Miss Murray gave track of protection class longer than already. Talked about how you just moved to town and what people were supposed to call you. Miss Murray must have asked your house. Opa, know that. You were glad when the embarrassing thing was over. That was the end of the not really teaching names part of class. Miss Murray took her out of the flap and showed it died. Please take out your pencil and notebook. I'll be going over our plans and what will be Crossing and packed the question. I'm a little smudge. You would grab something, mark it up. Was I'm gonna go with a gel pen. I'm holding right or left. The one that felt best. Camera looked over her bag. Awesome. Her eyes pointed at right on the very other end. Faster. Or if her legs might turn into a power motor and drive the desk around the room. Tamarack was definitely eager to get information. At the hole wasn't a single piece of paper or pencil around her notes. Maybe she only had to listen. Over on the other group of tables, resting right and propped up at the desk, was writing still. Left. Wasn't special. Obviously, he's not gonna take school notes in his special notebook, Red. That was your name. And then there was class was so simple. Didn't even really know. Murray talked about this covering of the holiday. The way the students graded for. Weren't sure she could stop having to celebrate that. Mom said something about when parent conflict happened. Just pause there. You left a glance of he totally lost the pose. Said Autumn was it was from his special note. Yeah? The answer was as easy as ever. He didn't try to sound like out by a teacher. He was polite enough to pick himself up to look at the person speaking it. Am I going too fast? Or else been very uncomfortable. He was like, what the hell? Pencil dropped and clattered on the desk. Both hovered over the paper, stared at it like as if he didn't know he said not to touch her. For a minute, he didn't know what to think, and then talking slowly off. No, it's alright. Even fully against her again. While placing her spot back, smile on her face. Even if you couldn't put it target. I wasn't writing down when you were talking. I'll get to that later. Don't worry, eyes went back. Eyes went wide at his. It's look, I'm back. Miss Murray's smile was faint. I will, thanks. They stopped at the little break. Nothing but normal stuff happened time. It was a lot like your other classes, other places. Only Grove didn't have a and then heard of. We figured it would be that way. Seeing a regular lesson happen. And just like all the classes, before that one over and over. But before the teacher up around piles of yes. Explain how they do tax homework and pack it and bring it back tomorrow. And she said bye to not the best teacher. Glad to be out of class. Teachers all say, I'm gonna give her an alright and maybe you have to. Not a good person. You have the whole school year to figure out how you felt about it. Right next, the spell that kept Tamarack locked on his class broke. Over to her desk, Tamarack stared at the gel pen. Actually, the opposite. Looking at the hand that was holding the gel pen. She kept staring the way you had it, but she couldn't know why at first. It was tougher to figure out than the class had been. She used all her brain power on a light beside her head. Oh, that's your other hand. The left one. I used my right. Her open right palm. Almost had Naomi and Opa and Mom and Dad used their right too. You don't. That's amazing. I can both hands. Tamarack used both her hands to slap the table after the go. You're down at the desk, still sunk. That was the first time you ever had to look up to see Tamarack. So small you happy. What? That's real? She bent her arms back under like the lip. Hair stretched her neck out forward past her bag. Face. Tamarack had gone high up, all the way down to the tabletop level, and was watching every. How do you do it? Put the jump hand in your other hand. Gel pen passed from left to right. Up to Tamarack's eyes. That was what she wanted. Your stunt made her whisper wonder. Wow! As if that proved something, she hadn't even written it. Anyway, gel pen both hands. She might not have attacked Tamarack or anything more. Then Tamarack flopped back into the chair. I saw Q using. Really? Little puff of hair on the top of her head. Tamarack snapped back, but it was already day. Oh hell! And then Tamarack was talking about hands and that was finished. This time it really was the gel pen itself that had okay. I like your gel pen. Smile. Your best gel pen brought. Special. Someone knew. It'd be really nice. Tamarack started to hum about French straps on her bag. So cool we call them. Thank you. Last she'd been hugging after my own. You're welcome. Adults are pretty troublesome. She didn't have to call on you. We already talked to her before class even happened. Yeah, and she already had seen how freaking nervous I was. Like, God. And I don't know why she didn't. But I would not have that answer. She flipped the top flap over. And in went one of the homework packets. Closing it all back up followed right after. That was all she had to put away because she hadn't taken anything else out of her bag for the whole class. She pulled the bag closer, pulled herself under the cap. One thing left. Set. Tamarack bounced out of her heavy bag, settled across her rattle. Come on, Red! She made a dash to the coat rack where her pink scarf was waiting. Before leaving, you remembered to homework packet in her pocket of your bag. Nothing else was forgotten either. You put all your things back where you'd taken them. You even brushed off the pencil-shaped eraser bit that had gotten on your side, thanks to the other table. The desk was all nice and finished. As soon as you got up to couldn't because someone called Hey, Blaze! You check behind you. You, coming up from the front of the class, was waving a piece of brown lined paper. Give him a wave! It's good you're here. I've got stuff to say. Well, I guess I could have told you even if you had gone. We live in the same neighborhood. It sounded like even Keith struggled to wrap his head around the idea that two of you were strangers about a day ago, and now we're people who see each other all the time. All the time, Q, all the time. There was a soft crinkle as Q tapped the edge of the special paper with the right palm again. He stopped being able to hear it when he started to ramble, though he kept doing it. Okay, so this paper. Here's what happened. I was talking to my mom and dad about it yesterday, back when it was still yesterday, and I realized something. He flapped both his arms out wide. Autumn was acting as blown away as he must have been trying to explain. Tamarack finding my paper and sending it to you wasn't just some unexpected, unexplainable thing that we wondered about. It was sucky. What? Oh, my boy, I thought it was cool. What? It was? Yes. With drama and emotion, he whipped his arms up and down in rapid gesture. He needed you to feel what you were feeling. Not to be imagined you had been before. You had a paper airplane with a message that had your name and everything. That's exciting! It had to mean something. I mean, I would hope so, but hey, I solved the mystery anyway. I am a winner. But then it wasn't even a message for you. It was an accident? Well, that's the biggest letdown I can even imagine. He had been flying the page around like it was another paper airplane, but he finally let it rest for a second when his arm dropped. All his bluster sigh. If you were gonna get a note from me, it should have had something to say to you. That's what I thought when I thought about it more. Oh, now I get it. That wasn't the end of the story, though. It was a prologue. Autumn sprung back into action, raising his left arm with the page pressed against his thumb, the rest of his outstretched finger. And so, I've got something for you. He shook the paper in his hand, grinning. There was no way not to get what he meant, and what was supposed to do. You wrote me a note? That's right. Autumn swished the paper one more time, to bring it down low enough for you to take. You excitedly hand. The page in your fingers was exactly like what you remembered from the plain one, somehow tougher and softer than regular paper, and that same light brown color. But when you read the message, the words scribbled on it were all different than the first time. Oh, you're adorable boy! God, Q! Welcome to the neighborhood. You Lynn this time, actually. That's what was written in big clear letters. Stars and smiley crowded any plain spot words hadn't covered. It was careful with a little extra line on the curve. He didn't even draw the stars from the corner. Lines in the middle of them. The difference between a note you wanted somebody to see and one you got by accident was huge. Some blurry thing up past the top edge of the paper. You blinked distracted over the to figure out what was going on in the room. He was Keith, high on his tiptoes, watching notes, smirking, hands tucked behind his back, and all around very pleased with himself. It's pretty good, huh? I will. He was already standing as tall as he could. What you said still uplifted more through his eyebrows and the corners of his mouth. The lopsided smile grew the dazzlingly full. His arms tensed around himself like a heart beating hard inside his chest. You're welcome. You gave one more glance at the message written for him. It was still there, welcoming you to your neighborhood every time you saw it. When you looked at Q himself again, he finally dropped back to normally. Waited there to see if he was gonna do something else. You're the one who's worrying about me? When this is your first day in a new school? In a new town with all new people? You're a really nice boy. Yeah, I am worried. He snorted when a new thought tickled. I told you Miss Murray was a tough one. He tilted his head and dark brown hair flip in his face. Autumn grinned reassuringly, encouragingly, wanting you to smile along with him about how silly he obviously thought it was. But you didn't. There wasn't anything he could even pretend was fun on your face. It looked all squished and twisted like your stomach felt. Troubling. Without thinking, Q brushed out of place hairs here. It was a smooth move. The way he talked to you got more mellow. Look, that was nothing. I'm a fast writer. I can do my own stuff and get school stuff. She's just giving me all the attention because I'm the favorite. Straightening back out, Q shrugged his arms widely at the Wookiee way. He just wasn't gonna care about it. Okay, I get it. Good. Even though Q was the last talking, he abruptly scared it. What was the conversation out of the way and have it be about something else? But wait, before I forget, I gotta say, first day's gotta be the hardest to do, and it's over now, and you did it! That's cool! His hands were balled into fists, held them high as he talked encouragingly. It was honest, even though he was probably saying it to feel good. Thanks for what you did during. You're welcome. His eyes fluttered closed in concentration. While thinking some kind of thought, he stretched to feel out the way his gloves were fitting. You pinched the edges to strain them out better. Well, you were sitting with Tamarack, huh? Miss Murray is smart, just sometimes too smart for me. Great that we're seeing neighbors. Yeah, that's exactly what you are. The paper crinkled in your hand. You'd been gripping it the whole time. You twisted away to pull the zip bag. The welcome message you got from you went right next to the packet of homework giving you. You giving you a paper reminded you had one you do. Your bag was already open for putting away the paper. You just stuck your again. The backpack couldn't be zipped all the way. Everything would fall out. You only made a hole big enough for reaching around inside. Luckily, the paper from Q's special notebook wasn't anything like the homework from Miss Murray. You didn't have to look to know. You could just tell by touching. But you did have to worry about mixing up the page that was yours to wasn't. You had to stick your face against the old bumpy protractor, which cotton paper you had, before you were sure you got it right. Then you looked at Q again. Held the paper out to him. It worked like a ticket to a time machine. Saw the exact same thing you did yesterday, with Q gasping, flailing his hands and all of it. It's you. Both his hands smacked against his chest, pressing it back, while his head, shoulders, and eyes jutted out in shock. You got another one? He squished himself so much that the next question could only come out as bashful. That's paper. Nope, my dear boy, nope. You glanced at the paper for a second, then back at Q. The sides with the word were the one you had. You could read at least some of the message, even if it was a... But you guessed it was still a shot. You didn't want to miss the tiny... You hadn't been caught losing another notebook. That was exactly what happened. No, it's a different one. Yeah, like it. Then his stiffness melted away and Q stood evenly with his head high again. A grin grew too, same as the flower after winter. As a flower after winter. No, Blaze, your sorcery amazes me. You and him broke out into laughter. If you really were a sorcerer, you'd do it a lot more. Paper. But it was still a good joke. Q swept his left palm up, kind of like how somebody might ask for a dance in a movie. He did fancy moves like that a lot, but you liked it. He was pretty and cool, even when he just wanted his stuff. He placed the page right there like the paper was giving him a low five. Q crossed his right arm over the left pocket of his... Out came his well-worn notebook with the pages that barely stayed stuck inside. He flipped it open with position on top of the set. He ran his now empty fingers over the tattered sides of the book, pressing the corner edges, sticking out mostly back and behind. Then Autumn flicked his notebook, dropped it back in his pocket, and patted the sides of his boots fondly. That's that. You did it. Paige made it home. Hugh didn't have anything else to say then. You could tell since he wasn't looking at his gaze. He'd already seen everything there was to see in class that looked like all the other classes. At least, Hugh thought so. But he did find something that he needed his attention. In his mind, anyway. Oh, she hasn't left either. Wait right there, I've got another thing to do. After cupping his hands around his mouth, Hugh called past you all the way to the side of the room. Hey Tamarack, get over here, you've got to see this. What is it? What is it? You have to look. Tamarack bounded across the room faster than an Olympic athlete, probably. It was as close. It would be close at least. It was really speedy. She did a skipping leap from the last foot before she tossed her arm straight up as she stuck the land. The fringe strands of the scarf which she had securely wrapped around her neck again had flown up and almost tickled her nose. I'm here! Good, check it out. You waved for her to get closer with one, reached the right pocket with the other. That wasn't the side he kept the notebook. He was going for something else. You leaned in, having a one-on-one huddle. You weren't a part of it, but you could tell what he had by the little glimpse you could catch over his shoulder and the sound of it. It rustled and crinkled, not a sharp way like in a soft squishy. He was holding a wadded-up bag, probably from whatever grocery he had. He kept the bag tightly closed, sides and topped, his feet pressed together. Then he suspiciously looked side to side. No one else would be allowed to see the treasure hidden inside. Tamarack did it too after, either to double check to not be left out, or maybe because she didn't want to miss what he might be spotting. Alright, this is it! You look so serious! Suspense pulled in your tooth. Tamarack bit the thumb and stopped. There was nothing in the world for them right now, except the bag and held. And finally, before Tamarack could fall over from no air, Q parted his stretched open, unusual wrapping. Mouth open, eyes wide, Tamarack gawked down at the bag. She figured she'd go wow or something. Just scanned whatever it was up and down with expression. It was possible she was so blown away her face had gotten stuck like that. That turned out not to be true, but she eventually saw enough for her reaction to slowly begin running inside. First it was with the edges of her lips wobbling, the eyelashes trembling, finally her brows fiercely. Tamarack snapped her head up and glared straight into Q's awaiting smirk. That's trash! Oh boy, Q's up to something. What's really in there? Tiny bubble of a snicker popped out from his mouth. Then there was another even louder one. The laughs kept bursting, bigger and bigger until he was shaking so bad that whatever was in the bag almost bounced out. It is trash. What? Yeah, it is. I said so. Being heard over Q's giggling fit could have been a problem. Tamarack was entirely okay with shouting. Miss Murray looked over at the commotion and chair. She still had that full roll call paper class schedule open. Maybe there were no rules once class was out, or maybe this kind of thing was normal with her. Didn't really tell any of them quiet. She went back to her job and stuff. By the time you focused on your neighbors again, you had started to calm down. Autumn shook his head and wiped a tear from his eye, and then, heavy breaths, he gave a wisecracking answer. I didn't say it was something you'd want to have, just that you should see it. Why would I want to see your trash? She asked him crossly while crossing her arms with it. Hugh gathered the hand, swung the arm up as the bag hung on his shoulder. The pose would have fit best for someone modeling a purse 5 times more expensive than any your pal owned. She had really nice ones at work and not a plastic bag full of garbage. I have reasons. I've always got reasons. What are they? Sebastian was cautious, wary of any other trick he might pull, but the curiosity was clear in his voice, being presented with a bag of garbage with hay as long as it had some kind of secret. Well, he paused to rearrange his face into something curious and nodded thoughtfully. Even though me losing that paper was an unexplainable mystery, I was thinking about how you just got to the town and are already having to pick up after other people to afford. That's not fair. Still speaking with as a wise mentor who used his other hand yesterday telling him that. So I decided to go back out yesterday and check the forest for litter. This is all the stuff I got so far. He really did have his reason. It was exactly like he'd done with the note. You imagine what Tamarack probably thought or felt from what happened yesterday, and when it seemed like it could be sad, did something about it. Tamarack sucked in a gasp of air and let out a scream. Really? You cleaned the woods? I did. All this went from being on the ground into my trash bag. Wow, that's so nice! She did wow at it after all, and she also picked her feet out after another in a happy little dance. Her bag jostled along her partner. It was your good idea first. It couldn't have been humble, but he cocked his chin so pleased with himself that it wasn't really more. Tamarack was too giddy to care. Notice. Thanks, Q! Smile along with them. The little trio of you, Tamarack, and together reunited over by the desk, while the room became more and more empty of anybody else. After a while, besides you three, there was only left in class. It was empty enough and quiet enough that you could the door after. That was all that happened. Figured someone would come in. Check behind you. The door was open a crack and a person through. From the teeny bit you could see, the person was a grown up. They were only half as tall as the door they were hiding. Definitely wasn't your cousin to get you. Miss Murray was still flipping through a million papers, but called out from her desk. It's okay. You can come in. Class is over. Then the door got shoved all the way open and bumped into the wall after trying not to get noticed. Being called out that way made whoever it was calm. They stood in the doorway and put their hands on their hips, the hair on their head with a helmet of sunshine, orange shining and flaming out in rays everywhere. The person walked right in without looking at what they did. It wasn't the way you or Tamarack came to class. The way Q had. The way someone who had been there before had. But this wasn't their class. None of the students who saw the person. New school in a new town, you would have been more amazed if it was somebody you did know. Even though that was true, you almost thought you had met this. The kid's soft brown eyes itched it at your brain. For sure you'd seen those exact kind of eyes somewhere before. It was especially hard to figure out when the gaze was aimed at you. It had gone to the front where the teacher was. Oh, you remembered? Seeing the new kid in Miss Murray matching card game you had when you were little. Just won by flipping over red and chestnut. A person with eyes like Miss Murray ran to her past the counting carpet behind the desk. They threw their arms around her legs and hugged together. The teacher gently brushed those sunbeam strands and tilted their head back, smile up and grin. Hi. Hello, Sir 7th grade. Do you have a good first day? Darren! Sir 7th grader Darren. Both gasped and let go before smiling wider. Cute! He darted out from the desk just like that. Miss Murray watched him go, rubbing at the spots on his squish. She was for sure his, not just because they hugged her eyes. Miss Murray wouldn't have let him away with not any questions. And you were right. My mom is your teacher? Darren's voice came out bright and loud with a big laugh, though the sound was kind of crackly too. He had so much to express to the world, words could be all together. Hugh's own sparkling giggles in. He opened his arms all the way out, not holding anything back. I know! When Darren crossed the room, he stuck his arm straight ahead, palm up. flipped his arm down and 5 smack. It was a powerful hit, but they were both protected by gloves. Hugh just shrugged again, not feeling a thing. This year's gonna be tough. Boys, inside voices. Personally, I'd say my lessons are fair. Sure, hun. Right. Sorry, Miss Murray. Sorry, Mom. Darren lifted his fuzzy black earmuffs off his head using his hands covered in black gloves. In this classroom today, and be able to acquire the words better without that too. The first time Darren noticed the two that made his smile flat. He expected you would say, Darren didn't think about that. He tried to figure out what to do or think or feel now that it had happened. Tamarack skipped saying who she was, jumped right into Darren's. As far as kids went, Darren was as tall as Tamarack was short. Mom? Who said she's your mom? A teacher is your mom? Now that he talked about Miss having got there, or that a lot happened to show that Darren was definitely his son. Having a kid of a teacher in front of her was global Tamarack. And that made Darren decide what about this meeting. He didn't like it at all. His face soured. He backed away from Tamarack without thinking, like a giant fluffy kid. Tamarack didn't let him be far from her. Whoa, leave him alone, Tamarack! What? Why? He doesn't like it, that's why. Yeah. Don't follow Darren like that. Hugh was totally serious. Yeah, it wasn't a rule. Law. Tamarack listened better than did it come from action. No. Tamarack deflated his like stops Darren. He still didn't stop staring at her. Darren was afraid of way. The whole thing made Keith sigh. It's an accident. Sucked in another cigarette fast after. Then he smiled again like nothing happened. Oh, hey! Everybody's gonna meet each other for real now. They do? Yeah, we do. He used his own tiptoes and really twirled around from Tamarack's side to Darren. This is Mr. Darren Murray. Hugh hooked an arm around Darren's stiff shoulder. Warm embrace got Darren all soft. He melted over Autumn and their heads bumped together. You were as close as. He's my friend, and 2 years older than us. Autumn proudly put up a peace sign that probably just knew. Remember that road right out from our cul-de-sac? Darren lives there. His house is the other one with the dark brown fence. We're almost neighbors. That's how we know each other. Yeah, the big hill. I know that. We passed a lot of homes by your school. Yes, people had to live in them. But you always figured you would meet a person before seeing who lived. Which, is what makes sense in the world. It's kind of weird thinking you'd gone by his place before you even knew where Darren was. Hugh tilted his face so he was nose to nose with the boy down the street. That's what I gotta tell you. They're my new neighbors. What? Both of them? Thought only one kid was coming. Poor kid was more confused than ever. Tamarack could shock people even when she didn't try to. Hugh came to the rescue. His arm slid off Darren's shoulder at him soothingly back. Both of them. Autumn used his other hand towards the prizes. And that one is Miss Tamarack Bauman. Granny is her actual grandma. She lives in the gray house now. It's easy for Hugh to explain what happened. If Darren had been there yesterday, he could have seen Hugh's flurry when he found out Tamarack was there. Is that what you had to do to sound smart? Act like you always knew something that people couldn't tell the difference? Maybe it was just a cue thing. It did work for him. Darren listened to his friends amazed. That, like a tiny showman in front of an audience, person, Hugh unwrapped his fingers and held his open palm out toward Hugh. It is Mr. Grant's second. He's just a boy. He's the one who moved into that empty middle house with his mom. We all met yesterday. In a real world, Darren had to look down at Hugh. In fact, he had to look down on every kid. But in the same shine of his eyes, tricked into thinking Darren was up at Autumn. That That's how much the other boy. Ah! The light went away when Darren glanced over the two. All that was there was an uncomfortable skeptic. I'm gonna hide behind you. It wasn't the best spot right then, since Darren huddled like you. That's still where you felt the safe. Okay, hi. Cameron clapped a hand fast and waved. It beat like the buzzing bee. It kept being like that around Darren. He didn't think it was on purpose. Hi, Darren! Her face squinted. The awkward way Darren went with her still didn't get Tamarack to back down, or even slow down. She had thoughts that said, "They're both wearing orange sweaters!" Tamarack stopped her fluttering by clasping together. Darren curled his fingers, gripping tight around the. She hadn't said it teasingly, not even in the silly kind you did, but he was bothered by it. Yeah, both like orange. It was a short answer, very serious. The whole time Darren now, not when she asked about his mom or hi, talking about the same clothes, though, couldn't be ignored. Orange is good. One of the top colors. You cut in whatever was going on, nodding wisely. But, you know what my favorite color is? My favorite color is? How would I know? Because I think it's pretty obvious. For the second time, he gestured over at Tamarack, but not just any part of her. Autumn pointed to her mop of sparkly hair. It's golden. That's the best color there is. Gold was his favorite color. That was exactly like the color of a lot of autumn, practically all for trophy. Ooh! My favorite colors are purple, pink, red, yellow, and orange. That's a lot of favorites. Probably about half the colors there are, but alright. Wait, and also every color red likes is my favorite too. Aww! I'd appreciate you no matter what. Compared to Tamarack shouting, Darren responded. He still didn't want to talk to her. Misunderstanding about color ranking either. Red is my real favorite. Orange is still cool. I mean, red's obviously Red's favorite. At that point, everybody had talked about colors like too. I've got a favorite color too. Yeah? What is it? Red. Red. Could you not tell by my name? Yeah, me too. Red? I think I've seen some of that around here. You poked the top of his chest. The rope. Red bandana away. Alright. You took his trusty notebook out of his pocket and pencil with it. He flicked the pages open and to scribble right there in the middle of the room during a conversation with people. Why are you doing that? School is over. I'm writing down your favorite colors. I want to remember that. The question was answered, and it made sense to you. Didn't get it. Tamarack didn't write stuff down even when class was happening. Okay. The yelp cut off her unplanned reaction. Confused by normal things and confusing to normal people. That was Tamarack. You are using your other hand. The left one? Yeah, that's my good hand. Wow! Red has two good hands. What? Awesome! Tamarack ran out, and Darren didn't want do anything on his own. Not with you. It had to be cute. So the three of you waited there as scritchy scratchy sound of writing went on. 4 letters Q added. Notebook the more spread uncomfortably. Hey Autumn, you're coming to my house today, right? Yeah, I am. It was the third quick and direct answer Q gave while busy with his task, but it had a big impact on Darren. He smiled relieved, a promise made up for all the stuff Darren hadn't walked into the classroom and had 2 new people become a part of her life. Making a long dash across the paper, probably to underline something, Hugh finished off his note to himself and his reply to Darren. Now that Blaze and Tamarack are here, I've got to make sure they get to the neighborhood, but I can do that and go to your house. The worn brown book tucked in his pocket. He didn't watch what he was doing. Hugh did. This time, no paper fell out. It's not just gonna be me and Darren yet. One more is coming too. We've got plans. Yeah, for weeks that we'd all get together after the first day of school. Interesting. Nice. You had people to see that afternoon, kids other than you. Aww. That was alright, because you were sure there'd be time for you and Keith to hang out later. He wouldn't completely forget you. Thinking about it that way, Darren was sort of like you. He was friends with you too and didn't want to change that. There was room for all of you. And because of that, Darren, can you go get that guy? He's got to be standing around outside not knowing where to go. You can bring him to the right room. Darren sunk his neck deeper into the tall collar that surrounded it, trying not to be called on class after it was already too late. I don't know. His voice had gotten even rasping when he spoke then. Every bit of Darren protested the idea. Oh, come on, you're the fastest out of everyone. Hugh, on the other hand, was bold and brave. He sincerely sung Darren's praises to encourage his friend, though more quietly added a verse of his own success. With running away anyway. On bikes, I'm the best. Did you know? I've got a mountain bike. It has silver paint splatters and the tires have these big treads. It's so fast, you'd be amazed. But besides, we can't both go. Tamarack and Red are here. Do you want to stay with them by yourself while I'm gone? Will I get him? Darren's eyes closed, and he grimaced. If he was looking, he wouldn't have to be able to stop himself from Tamarack. You could tell that's where his not-seeing face turned, and he didn't want that either. If he couldn't even handle seeing closely, staying alone with Tamarack didn't be achievable for Darren. But I'll go. He placed the earmuffs back on his head as he was donning on armor before the battle, resigned but resolute. Cool, see ya. Yeah, bye. Bye! As Darren sprinted through the door, he doubted he'd be following the hallway. Miss Murray was still reading over her teacher stuff, so she didn't put a stop to it. But Darren should have followed them even if no one was watching. Tamarack's focus was set on the action. That was over, and bright white vest clean, she snapped her gaze to Hugh. She was eager, ready to learn more about the boy whose name hadn't even been said yet. In school, in friends, in everything, Tamarack wanted answers. Wondered about it too. Hugh began to tell you about his friend, even though no one asked anything about him. Yours and Tamarack's faces had been enough to get Hugh going. This kid you're gonna meet isn't like other kids. He's mature. Mature rolled off Hugh's tongue slowly, importantly, and with a fake accent. He didn't know what kind, and he thought a little longer. Hugh much more quickly added. And not mature actually, about some stuff, but not everyone likes him, but I do, and you might too. Oh, guess what? He doesn't go to our school or Darren's school. He goes to He goes to a different one that costs money to rich people. Those are actually rich. He figured out what accent he was doing. A wealthy from one of those movies about millionaire. What? You have to worry. Then how come he's coming here? He could have gone to Darren's house. Huh? He had to consider that one a lot longer, and eventually he just gave up on an explanation. I don't know. Darren's mom works at this place, so me and him were gonna meet up here anyway, even if she wasn't my team. This last guy, he'll have a reason to come by my school first. That's what he said he was gonna do. Hugh lifted his shoulder at a loss. He laughed about it. I guess he's not a very good planner. Neither Q nor Tamarack were sure what to say next. You were the same. Three of you glanced from one face to another. Expressions flitted between encouraging smile and curious. Until eventually the door was flung open and Darren boy! Oh! He looks so adorable! Oh my god! Look at him! Look at him! He's adorable! Sorry. God darn it. Like, I love Baxter so much. Seeing him so young. He's so adorable. Like, look at you see the fact that his hair is like grayish, not black. Oh my goodness. Behind Darren's striking colors, intense steps, was a new boy. The stranger came along, unconcerned, dressed in tone, but not in black and white. It's weird. Look wrong, my boy. His hair color almost could have been called black, though dark, probably right. He had black pants that didn't match perfectly with the shape of his head. But there was something about him that made an impression, like I've met you before. Tamarack, Q, and Darren, too, had lots of energy that radiated out all around them. This boy didn't have spirit in his legs or body. His fire was concentrated all in his dark eyes. Whatever he looked at came against the being. It made him unignorable. And that part of him was so noticeable that it took him a minute to get a birthmark on his neck, and that his smile was actually a smirk. My boy! From a full class to only 3 students left to 4 people, and now you were up to a group of 5. People kept going and coming that afternoon, and you didn't know what to do. All your thinking was cut off by a shout from Autumn. Along with that, he punched a fist in the air to welcome his reoccurring champion and the found ransom. Yeah, you made it! Darren and the boy he brought had given the impression of opposite different and what they had in common was clear when they smiled way at their reunion. They both liked the other one of them. They both liked you. That's all that mattered. The two went straight for two sides, Darren on his left and the other on his right. You were already there on Q's right, hiding from people. Snookin'. Unfortunately, he tried to come directly up to you. It was way too close and made you quietly retreat from the crowd. So, this is my friend. He's cool as long as you tell him when he's being dumb. The boy had been the most collected person you've seen in town besides your teacher, and Q just called him dumb as soon as he got there. That was kind of incredible. But Q didn't mean it in a way and leave a rival didn't blink when he said it. They were friends. Insult expressed as much affection as the hug Q shared earlier. Hello, it's nice to meet you. My name is Baxter. I don't know what voice I would give little tiny baby Baxter. Baxter greeted you casually. It was effortless. They like words, so they didn't come out with a lot of meaning behind it. Darren was 12, tall, taller than his friend, but you could have believed he wasn't that old until he said so. Nobody needed to tell you that Baxter told him. No one had told you, but you still knew. More than any kid, Baxter reminded you of teenagers. Ones who thought they were smarter, not only anyone younger, but adults too. He had that kind of unquestioned confidence. Even the way he stood there looked more grown up than everyone else. That's right. Hugh put on his snooty voice again and did a curtsy to show his mock respect to whoever the boy was that he was about to introduce. He's Mr. Baxter Ward and the oldest one out of all of them. You knew it. Meanwhile, Q dropped the accent when he wasn't talking about Baxter. And this is Mr. Red Second and Miss Tamarack Bowman. So I say you got cool dragons. Give him a wave or say hi or hide behind Tamarack. We're gonna hide behind Tamarack. Traveling around, the only other real new kid in this town, you tried not to be seen. Tamarack's gaze followed where you went until her head stopped being able to turn. She puffed and bounced her legs apart in a wide stance, covering you more than her small self could standing normally. You had a wall of solid fluff for protection. You were pretty positive Baxter didn't even notice you hadn't written hello. That's how little he cared about how his action was taken. Hey, are you actually rich? She said it doubtfully, with her hands on her hips and her face and doing more to her wondering than what she actually said. What would a rich person be doing then? Couldn't he be doing something else? Something kids like you and her weren't doing? She tried to imagine what other things might be. Maybe sitting with the head of a table, room, or dancing in a shiny ballroom, whiter than the house. Oh, Baxter wishes he was dancing! Darren's face twisted in the center and tightened around the edges. He wanted to laugh and wanted to stop himself from doing that. Yes. Baxter said he was a rich kid as plainly as if you asked if it was Monday or if he had a hat on his. He can prove it too. Baxter lives in a huge mansion high up on the mountain. He does? He does. Suddenly the table in the ballroom fantasy felt real. Having the huge mansion come up without him say so, Baxter smiled was. He didn't have to brag. His house spoke for itself. Or rather, the house got Autumn to speak for it, and that was the best brag of them all. And if I like it, maybe get to visit. Oh, if I like you! These words had shot up a pitch and rang with you. He threw his hands out in disbelief and had to be careful not to hit one around him. Baxter, you'll show it to anyone who will come by. You knocked Baxter's arm with your elbow, and that was the purpose. A friendly nudge to go along with the rest of the light gabbing. His smile beaming at Baxter, eyes dancing. Hugh declared in his stuffiest reply that was, to Q, a more accurate. Please come see my big cool house. Why would I even have it if no one was going to see it and think it was big and cool? That's him. Autumn needed to pause to steady himself before he finished talking about it. But it is a really cool house. I would show it off if it was mine. Hugh had to be honest about his friends and himself, when he was flattering and when it wasn't, and ended his show generous. Baxter said nothing, didn't laugh, he just glided a knuckle along the edge of his sweet bang. The strands curved with the motion, slipped right back into their normal spots. His smirk didn't drop out of place. With so much not being different, it was to tell that his cheeks anchored. You had to sort of make fun of Baxter, if it was a joke. If Baxter was going to blush, you would have thought he was embarrassed. But no matter how you looked at it, nothing about the expression was shy or uncomfortable. He was as calm as ever, and maybe even happier happened. Anyway, Baxter was over and decided it. Now that everyone's here, I've got something very important to say. Though he said everybody, attention was squared on you, Tamarack. There was a pause for dramatic effect as Keith smiled knowingly. Fred and Tamarack, I hereby invite you to join our club. What? Darren shouted like he had just announced he was getting married next week at 10 years old. Not so loud, please. That gentle squeak, way more startling. Gulp. You'd forgotten Miss Murray was still at her desk. She was so quiet and so much of a teacher, she did as natural in the classroom with the white flow. Things that were there and should be, didn't think about. Well, you got a reminder, Baxter never even known. Oh, hello. Nice to see you, Baxter. Darren zipped his lips. He had to settle for a silent crowd and pouting. You, who had definitely the leader of that pack, wasn't going to let his words take the question. He folded his arms and first his mom, then his friend. Darren was not having his best moment. Autumn couldn't stay firm for long, though. Instead, he thought of his love and smiled. Me, Baxter, and Darren are a group. We all go around having fun. We're practically famous in this. Yeah, me, you, Baxter, too. Quietly, firmly, not yelling, Darren pointed at the members again as if it meant something. Fred is one thing, but Darren's glance flipped to Tamarack for a single second. She's a girl. So that means something to him? After this whole time with Darren acting so weird, Tamarack, why? Boy, didn't play with girls. Interesting. It's a boys' club. Darren gestured around the semicircle, attention to the boyness of the collection. How can we be a boys' club if we're not all boys? He whined in a whisper. Even if you and Tamarack were there, Darren was trying to keep the conversation alone. Unfortunately, it was Autumn he was talking to, and he made extra effort. He freely giggled at the problem he had been presented. Darren, your mom's a teacher, and guess what? Hugh gave a lidded look over his shoulder. Possible. His dad, he's also a teacher at a different school. With a slow shake of his head, Hugh smugly invited a friend. And you don't even know his problem solving. You don't even know problem solving. Listen, okay? So, I'm a boy, and it's my club. That means it's a boys' club. What's the issue with that? You adorable idiot. He didn't get an answer though. Hugh didn't expect to. Darren could only gawk as if he'd witnessed magic. Hugh had taken a black heart card from his glove table, and when he revealed it again, it transformed into a red king. He wondered if Hugh was a sorcerer or wrong, or only said you were one for himself. He had a way with and with people. Hugh and Tamarack being new there wasn't what gave Hugh an advantage. He was like that no matter what. Baxter chuckled, the audience bent, and then he shrugged his hands in his pockets. I don't mind. Tag along, as long as they can keep up. Great. Baxter's agreement was given directly. Hugh took Darren's acceptance of his idea as a sure thing. He expected you and Tamarack to do and put the choice in your hand. That was the only question. So, what do you think? No thanks, I don't want to. For all of Q's feats of conversation wizardry, it was equally amazing how simply Tamarack could defeat them by simply not taking an interest. That was actually the second time Q invited her to play with him and his friends. Yesterday she was a baby. Today, no. Darren suddenly frowned more. He never wanted her, but was offended she too. Baxter only smirked harder. He already had his friends. Being turned away by a stranger didn't make a difference. Hugh was disappointed by Tamarack not considering it and by his friend's unwelcome attitude. No one seemed to care like he cared, even when he tried his best to get everyone to get along. His expression was unhappy enough for Tamarack to realize, shocked at the impact she had. Thanks for inviting me. I like you, Q. I'm not sure I like those other kids. Oh, Tamarack! Oh! Well, she just goes for the heart of the problem. Two bewildered snorts and one laugh followed that attempt at comfort. Baxter was the one who laughed. I wanna be in the club! Wait, there's more choices? Say that when Tamarack didn't. Oh! I like the fact that there are more choices. I wanna be in the club. I wanna be in the club! Thanks, Red. That was all it took to begin turning around. Hugh's smile grew to Baxter's eyes. Even Tamarack seemed to second guess her answer now that you old. That's one new member. And it's alright if you don't want to join, Tamarack. But you'll probably regret it for the rest of your life if you don't. It's the coolest club there is. And Tamarack, don't listen to Darren. I'm sorry he said that about you, girl in our group, and that being bad. Darren's gaze fell, guiltily. He didn't finish whatever he wanted to say. He may not have wanted Tamarack to join, but Hugh did. Being the reason it didn't work out was an unintended friendship. Darren does not know how to talk to girls or how to act around them. I think the only ladies he could say 10 words to are Mom and Tamarack's friend. Hugh! tossed his hands up completely unapologetically. You thought of a phrase you toss on you or don't. Messenger. Funny. I don't know. That's what I noticed. But it doesn't matter anymore. You can't live your life like this. You're a big kid. What if Tamarack looks up to you because you're so much older and wiser? Are you not even gonna be able to say hi to her? I said hi, didn't I? You said hi to Red, not to Tamarack. She greeted you. I hid. I hid behind somebody. I didn't say shit. But yes, Tamarack was the one who did. But she was too close. I know. How about you say hello right now? It's not too late. Yeah! Tamarack was instantly into that idea. She glanced upwards, Darren's eyes, grinning expectantly, pushing thigh. Say hi! It was hard to tell if she didn't realize she was giving Darren a hard time. That was more to him than a normal blow, or if that was the plan. But either way, Darren could do nothing except stare hard at Tamarack's jig. Ooh, this is embarrassing. Where'd Baxter go? Yeah, it is for you. You can't treat girls just like that just because they're girls. Darren groaned through clenched. You, Darren, and Tamarack, not one of them were budging. Until a low voice came from the area around Darren. It wasn't actually him, it was behind him. Oh, look, I think your scarf is so nice, Tamarack. Also, those are such great shoes, Red. What? Darren couldn't stay quiet for long. Mom had given up on reminding him. I hope you like my earrings, too. Darren spun around in a flurry, but the perpetrator had already released back to his side. Baxter stood there, self-satisfied and silent, like he may not have seen it with his own eyes, but Darren knew it was Baxter. He had a distinct voice, and it wasn't as if anyone else had done it. There was pleasing answer to Tamarack's ears, no matter who said it. She giggled as she toyed with her nice scarf. Do you really think that? The real Darren turned away, uncomfortable and with a face pinker. Ah! Pinker than the accessory question. I'm impressed, Darren. You're a ventriloquist. They were all babies. Baxter, you're hilarious. Right. One of two answers, and even then, I still wouldn't like. None of these are really the answer I would go. Baxter, you're hilarious. I'm impressed, Darren. You're a ventriloquist. That broke Baxter's statuette, and he snorted a laugh. Darren tucked his head into the vest. Good. The main part of his face still see were her eyes, which had gone from defiant to shy, maybe a little more. It reminded you of a baby child that had shown time. Eyes. You had lost hold of the situation. He viewed it from the outside the same he might have done while watching toddlers tumble on the playground. You know I don't invite just anyone through. That reminder was meant for Darren, who sent an explanation. Next. Where it was me and Darren since we were babies. Then a couple of years ago, there was Baxter. It's only been the three of us until right now. Yeah, has been. Why did they have to be part of the... It's... You asked. Red broke into my backyard, accidentally, and took me on a crazy investigation about an airplane. And he got here a day ago, and he's already looking out for me. Normally I'm the one doing that. Aw, thanks, Q. You still are the one looking out for me. Besides, Q tilted his cheek towards you, showing a cheek smile, his eyes were sparkling. Blaze is pretty. Oh my god! You adorable little... Darren's neck sprung out of his collar, Jack-in-the-Box style. He was so stunned it was lucky his head didn't totally fall off. And Tamarack was the one who made the paper airplane for a stranger because it would be fun. He's the type of kid who hides for who knows how long in a pile of leaves so she can jump out and spook you. What's not to like about that? Lastly, the three of us are all neighbors. That's gotta count for something. Even if it doesn't, what do you think? Were you thinking we'd do? Run away from them when me and Baxter are in the cul-de-sac? Try to make Tamarack and Red leave their own street? No, we should be friends and hang out together. Makes no sense not to let them join the club. Used a fake speech roused Tamarack. Her fists were clenched and her expression was bigger. But you were sure she wasn't inspired to use club. It strengthened your bond as neighbors. Only made her flimsy connection with Darren and Baxter obvious. Darren wordlessly put extra space between baking girl. Baxter smiled at Keith and will be totally indifferent to the effort. When it came to yourself, use description why he thought you'd remember. Made your cheeks hot and your heart faster. He was always so nice to you. Was he just being nice though? Or did he really like you as much as he said? You got the sense his audience's reaction. Instead of a full house roaring with applause, it was more like seeing a mostly theater with one person clapping in the back row. He worked with it though. Well, they haven't been here long, and I know them better than— Ah! Why do I keep doing that? I know them better than you guys know. The same goes for Red and Tamarack. They know me better than either of you. Different from me. I like all four of you. Tamarack can join later, and you don't have to be an official member to do stuff with us. I'm just letting you know what's up. A lot of things bothered Darren, don't it? Baxter so far took everything like it was nothing. You went up, and he went down, but always tried to get back up by the end. That was the boys' club. You was still cute, and you liked Darren a lot. Baxter was great. I like how there's like six answers that just are just I don't like the fact that there's 6 answers like how weird Baxter. But I'm gonna say Baxter was great. And now you were mostly part of that club. You wanted you to be. You wanted it. And that was the main deciding factor. And there we go. That is the end of our life, now and forever, the demo. So I've played the beta as well, and I will say that I prefer how the beta handles everything over how the demo is, because the beta goes through what I am expecting entire prologue, which basically includes about 3 more scenes. And I think it has a better ending. The ending point here doesn't feel right, and I don't know. I don't like it. Let's put it that way. I don't like where the demo ends. I think it's probably not a good point for this. But obviously, I also get to play the beta, so I have a totally different opinion. But that is our life now, forever. Thank you all for joining me on this lovely little— I am sorry that this was a 4-hour adventure. I wanted to make sure the entire demo was in one video. And yes, we'll be playing this game when it comes out. It's gonna be fun. I'm taking this step. I'm taking back my words and doing it. To anybody who send questions if I would ever play the Baxter on the channel for getting it always, the answer on that is still no. I do think that both of the DLC wouldn't really fit with the story that I had. Blue's story is closed. Chapter done. I don't want to reopen her tale. So, we're not going to. We are going to, however, take a step into our life now and forever. As you can see on screen, this is my attempt at drawing the art style. The art style is very much not in my comfort. I can look at Tamarack and say, wow, I need to fix your smile. I don't like how your smile turned out. I really love how Red turned out, however, but I also spent so long on him. I went through about 4 rough drafts before I finished Red. I'm actually really happy with how all of the hands are not my forte. So, but anyway, everybody, thank you all for joining me. I will catch you on the flip side. Bye, everybody.